All right, and we are ready to get going. The Pirates have won the toss and elected to receive. Chapman is in black and the Pirates are in white.
It's going to be imperative for the Panthers to start off well on the defensive end tonight. Leif Eriksson, as we said before, threw for 5 touchdowns last game against Laverne. Let's see what the Chapman defense can do against that tonight.
A little bit of delay here. The night is beautiful, not too chilly.
I'm just happy it's football season again, Nate.
It's back, it's back. Back there for the Pirates, returning, is number 1, Isaiah Wong Longzanita.
Let's go, Chapman! Woo!
About to see kickoff here. Excited for this one.
It is loud, big crowd. Getting ready to start off. All right, here we go. Let's have some fun. Kick is off. Return at the 1-yard line. The Pirates have a good move. He has a lane. He's going down the sideline out on the 50.
That's a great return right there by Whitworth. Saw a great lead block by their off returner there. Setting them up in great field position on the opponent's side, Chapman's side.
That was number 2, Braden Corona. He's a running back out of San Luis Obispo with that 50-yard return to start off this game.
Come on!
And the Pirates will take over.
Come on, Ricky! Got Noah! Got Johnny!
Quarterback Leif Eriksson played really well in this first week. Both teams coming off a bye. Let's see how their offense gets started here tonight. Pass back, drops it off to his left. That's caught by the tight end for a gang of 5.
We're going to see a lot of passing here tonight. And also another thing to watch out for the Pirates, they are a no-huddle offense, up-tempo. On average, between every play, it's 8 seconds. So Panthers have to match that on the defensive end.
A good catch and run by Anthony Ruiz, the tight end for the Pirates. Sets up a 2nd and 5. On the bottom of your screen, we got trips. Eriksson drops back, lets it go, and the ball is incomplete.
That is first-year corner Hunter Osoda. He is in for the injured Frankie Nares, who actually popped his hamstring in their game against Pacific. Let's see how he fares today, and let's see if Whitworth actually tries to pick on him.
And here you can see on your screen the starting offensive lineup for the the Pirates. The flex number 23, Andrew Meredith, had a great game in the first week against the Laverne Leopards. Let's see what he can do here tonight. Chapman drops it back. Oh, pass up top, but it's reeled in for a first down, Pirates.
Looks like the Pirates are trying to go yardage by yardage. They're not trying to go for the big plays yet. Looks like they're inching away towards the end zone.
The hurry-up offense here, handoff to Braden Corona. And the Chapman defense comes up with the loss of 1.
Great penetration inside. In fact, a lot of these defensive linemen and linebackers are returners, 2 or even 3-year starters. The Panthers are going to really have to rely on them to get to Eriksson and eat up his run game.
The Chapman defense is led up in the middle by number 23, David Arus. There you go, fake handoff, play action, and gets hit in the backfield. That's number 44, Dylan Keefe, causing that disruption for an incomplete pass.
And that's Dylan Keefe, the former All-Leaguer. He actually grew up around here in Orange, went to El Medina, was an all-star player there, was actually the MVP of the all-star game for Orange County.
Yeah, that kid's a stud. I mean, you had time to see him, in practice and the way he was playing. I mean, I'm sure you guys were feeding off his energy.
The all-star game, he played running back, so he's a monster on both ends.
Here's Erickson, lets it go deep. Oh, and it is right in the hands of number 23, Derek, but that is incomplete.
The Panthers this year have been playing a lot more aggressive on defense, and the corners are going to be tested, especially Chris Churches. But that is the second play in a row that they tried to go deep. On the previous play when Erickson got hit, they actually tried going up the seam, and they had a receiver that was slightly open. Let's see how the Panthers adjust here in the secondary.
All right, and they're not going to decide to go for it, so 4th and 12, and the Pirates are going to punt it off. And they let it go, and it lands in the end zone, so the Chapman Panthers will take over at the 25-yard line.
Now, as we said, this Panthers offense is without Trevor Ville, their main target on offense, their biggest body, the player that they honestly needed in this big game against the number 10 team in the country. Let's see what Jonston MacIntyre, first-year quarterback, sophomore, he was a second-string quarterback last year. Let's see what he can do today.
So the Chapman Panthers will take over at the 20. And Jonston in his first home game as an official starter. There you go, fake handoff, and Jonston on the keeper. Spun around for a gain about 3.
MacIntyre is actually not known for his running game, but last game he had a touchdown on 67 yards rushing, almost as many yards as he had passing. Let's see how much they rely on that today.
And here you can see the Chapman offensive lineup that on the top of your screen. Wide receiver number 10, Zach Schwartz, is a sophomore. Got some playing time last year, but this year he's a vital part of their offense. So let's see what he will be able to do here tonight.
Also, one thing to note, the Panthers do like going for deep on their first drive. On their second or third play, let's see if they do that here.
Well, we know the offensive coordinator, Casey Shine, is a magician back there, so let's see what he does. And Johnson, going out of pocket, had no time, and he swallowed up. He gains about 3 yards on the carry.
It looks like MacIntyre was trying to go to Zach Schwartz there on that corner route. They ran everything tight so that they can bunch all the corners and safeties in. Play didn't work there because the defense had it locked up, but also the pressure got to MacIntyre quick. Crucial third down here. It's going to be imperative for the Panthers to start off strong against the number 10 team in the country.
So in the first series, the Panthers are going to face a third down. Let's see if they can convert here. Looks like the Pirates are bringing pressure.
Watch out for Nico Rodriguez.
And a quick pass in the hands of Caleb Henshaw, and it's dropped. And that brings up a 4th down for the Panthers.
Risky pass there. Number 3 for Whitworth, the defensive end, was right there and almost actually picked that ball off. Panthers have gotten lucky twice there, once on defense on that third down deep in the end zone, and now here, avoiding that near interception. See if they can use these lucky breaks to their advantage later on in the game.
So back there to return for the Pirates is number 1, Eisen Longzanita. He catches it, decides not to do a fair catch, and gets about 2 yards on the carry. As this Chapman defense gets set to go on the field for the second time, what do you think is going through their heads after that first defense?
I think they know now that the threat deep is real, and first off, the defensive line's going to have to get to Erickson quick and fast, and the Panthers are going to have to play a little bit conservatively on these deep routes.
Erickson drops back, finds a wide open receiver, and just short of the first down as it'll bring up a 2nd down and 1.
I'm sure safety coach McKibbins would rather have a lot of these short dink and dunk passes rather than the wide open deep passes that are just one-play bombs.
And here you can see the Chapman defensive lineup on your screen. Number 44, Dylan Keefe, is their star, and that's who they feed off of. Here, play action throw. Erickson completes it for a 1st down.
And you can tell Calif is such a versatile player. They put him all the way out near the hashes, playing essentially DB. But he's playing all around today. We might even see him at running back today.
Erickson in shotgun. Pump fakes it. Finds a wide open Pelican, and Pelican has some room. He puts a move on Nathan Parkman and is swallowed up at the 5-yard line.
Smart play calling by the offense coordinator for the Pirates there. They tried going for that fake screen. The corner, Chris Churches, bid on that, and easy release for the wide receiver for the open pass.
And the Pirates here bringing up with that hurry-up offense. A quick throw, and it is good for a touchdown, but there is a flag on the play.
We're doing what they do best, throwing the ball and throwing it quick. They got the Chapman defense off guard there with that quick no huddle.
Well, it looks like it's going to be on the Panthers, but let's see what he has to say. So a face mask call, but nonetheless, the Pirates still get on the board with the chance to make it a 7-0 game. We got a little holdup, some miscommunication between the referees.
Erickson and the Pirates offense are really showing their continuity here today. We're gonna have to see how the defense adapts to this later on in the game, because I don't think the Panthers are gonna be able to go toe-to-toe on offense. So it's gonna be the defense that has to step up.
Kickoff.
All right, thank you for the correction. So that was number 80, Ethan Pelican, with the 2 catches on that drive, and ended up scoring for the Pirates. Kick is through and kick is good. All right, so the Pirates get on the board early.
You got a great, see the fake screen, and wide open is number 80 for the Pirates. A little shake and bake on Nathan Parkin, almost getting in the end zone there. That was a great play design by the Pirates. First, getting the Panthers to bite with a bunch of these short passes early on in the drive, and then going for that double move there. 7-0. Whitworth is on top of Chapman. Let's see how the offense and Jonston MacIntyre responds here.
So the Pirates score early. Their offense, we knew coming into this game, was going to be a force to be reckoned with. They put up 50 points total in their first week against the Laverne Leopards that happen to be in the same division as the Panthers.
And I think that was 5 touchdowns in the first half alone, right, Nate?
5 touchdowns in the first half alone for Erickson. So he's coming off a hot game. I know they both came out of a bye last week, so he was able to rest, and it showed off in that drive. And because of that penalty, they were kicking it off from the 50. And as we assume,
he booted that one way past the end zone.
That's what that extra field is over there for. So the Panthers will take over at the 25-yard line. Let's see if they can get something going here on their second drive. We weren't able to get much during that first series, as we saw Johnson had to scramble twice, one by choice.
Yeah, we're probably going to need to see him step it up more in his passing game. But let's see if they can get the run game going here. I believe it's Tanner Mendoza in right now.
So a fake handoff. Johnson rolling to his right. Fakes it again and decides to run for a gain of about 5.
A lot of rollouts for MacIntyre I think we're going to see throughout this game, trying to avoid the pressure.
The Chapman quarterback depth is consisting of about 2 quarterbacks right now. Last year they had 8 on the roster, and now they're down to 2 that are active. One is Johnson, and the other is Reed Vettel, who will be coming in, as I believe they're going to switch off every 2 series. A handoff to the right. A big dog pile over there for a gain of about 2. Let's see where they mark them.
It's going to be hard for the running backs of the Panthers to get anything going inside. the two linebackers for the Whitworth are actually the keys for the game, honestly. One of them is actually an All-American. He won third-team All-American last year. Let's see what the offensive line and what the running backs can do against these dominant linebackers.
So on 3rd and 4,
It's a passing situation here.
Johnson's in the gun.
Watch out for number 8, Caleb Henshaw in the slot here.
Jonston drops back, has time, lets it loose, and an incomplete. No flag on the play.
There was a little bit of contact early on, but looks like there is some miscommunication. It looks like Henshaw might have been running a corner, but it was thrown more like a seam. I don't know what happened there, but that would have been a touchdown, right, Nate?
Absolutely. I mean, he broke loose. He was able to shed the defensive coverage, and Henshaw is an elite receiver on their squad. That's number 34, Jalen Durrell running on the field, but looks like they don't need him on the punting unit.
Hey, at the 45! Come on, man!
Gotta love it, gotta love it.
Passionate fans. That's D3 football for you guys.
5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Might not have a lot of fans, but the few that are here, they're going to be passionate.
That's right. So the Panthers get called for delay of game, moves it back. And the punter for the Panthers is number 31, Ken Burrell. He's a freshman.
And Nate, that's actually a big change from last year. I'm sure you've seen it, but Eli Deeb, number 98, he was 2-time All-American, first an honorable mention, then I believe a second-team All-American his junior year. He was a punter for Mater Dei, obviously, as we know, one of the best high school teams in the nation, and he was actually scouted by some of the team. He was on draft boards for some professional scouting draft boards. So his loss can be tough for the Panthers, but we'll see how the freshman punter does this year.
Absolutely. So Erickson in the gun.
Looks like
Hands
Whittier
it off
trying
to the
get
left. And he's swallowed up by the Chapman defense as he's carried for a gain of about 8.
The Panthers Erickson tried to go in for the hard count there, trying to get the Panthers to jump offside. Looks like they didn't quite bite there, but
so the Pirates have a great offensive scheme as they allow you to sleep with that play action because of their running back being so well diverse. And as I say that, he's swallowed up by the ankles.
it's a great shoestring tackle right there.
And that was number 34, Jalen Durrell on the tackle.
And we can see on the Panthers sideline, Reed Vettel is warming up. I think he might be coming in this next drive. Let's see a little change up for the Panthers. Reed is not as much of a runner, but he's a pure pocket passer.
And Erickson unloads, but it's out of reach of the receiver.
Great coverage
That's
there.
number 24, Zach Hillman.
It's great coverage there, and the ball was thrown way out of bounds. A lot of that has to be credited to the pressure from the linebackers of the Panthers.
All right, so that brings up a 2nd down and 10 for the Pirates. And here, Leif Erickson, not the explorer, but the quarterback for the Pirates, has been leading this team, and he's a firepower.
Got one high safety on this one.
Oh, and he has a receiver wide open and then just in the hands of number 24, Caleb Jones, as he dove out and tried to reel that one in, but it winds up incomplete.
Erickson read that one perfectly. He saw the one high safety, and he threaded it exactly where it needed to be, down the seams, the only place where the receiver could catch the ball. Unfortunately, his receiver did not come down with it, but that's a perfect idea for Erickson. See if the Panthers can come with the crucial 3rd down stop here. Remember, they're only down a touchdown.
So it's a big 3rd down for this Chapman defense. If they can stop them here, they'll help themselves out a lot. So Erickson alone back there.
We got trips right here.
Erickson drops back, and the pass is incomplete. So they start off that series with 2 runs and then 4 passes. All passes were just out of the reach of their receivers, and that brings up a 4th down and 10 as they'll punt it away.
You saw they went trips to the left on that side, but they were clearly trying to take advantage of the single receiver side, trying to take advantage of the man-on-man coverage with Churches.
Back to return for the Panthers is number 83, Wyatt Harden. He's a sophomore from Laguna Niguel.
Short punt.
Oh, it was touched. That ball will be at the 30-yard line. Not where they recovered it. As the ref signals that in. The Panthers got new uniforms this year. I know you wish you could have got those, Pranav.
They were always talking about getting the new Nike uniforms. I honestly wish we had it for our my 3 years on team. We had Riddell uniforms. Honestly, they were worse than my high school jerseys, but no, can't do anything about that.
I can agree with you on that one.
We can see here Reed Vettel's back in the game, or in the game for the first time.
And that's Nico Ragas on the jet sweep to the right. And as Pranav said, Reed Vettel's in for the first time. Looks like they're going to switch off every 2 series.
Ragas is a great offensive weapon. Even though he's just, I think, 5'6", maybe 160 at the most, he is one of the shiftiest dudes on the team, one of the fastest guys on the team. He can beat you in the run game, in the pass game, short, deep. He can do it all.
So Marcos Reyes is in at running back for the Panthers as they let Mendoza take a rest.
We're going to see a lot of touches from Reyes today.
The Pirates dropping back, and it's a run to the left. And Reyes was able to go nowhere. That was a good tackle by number 8, Jalen Gonzalez, the linebacker from Hawaii.
It's 3rd and 2. Let's see what the Panthers will do here. It's pretty much 50-50 run-pass option here.
Henshaw at the bottom of your screen.
I'll go to Ragas on a quick screen right here.
Reed with time, unloads, has a man, and the ball is caught. And he is able to go inside the 10-yard line. That is number 10, Zach Shorts, the sophomore.
Zach Shorts, I believe, 6'3", 6'4". They're going to take advantage of this height advantage over the corners.
And great play by the Panthers offense right there. The offensive line was able to give Vettel some time to throw. And if you give him time, you know he'll stay in that pocket and just unleash it. Handoff up the middle. Marcos Reyes is swallowed up for a gain of nothing.
I think the Panthers are going to have to pass it to score here. The Pirate linebackers are proving too strong. Their defensive line as well. We see the deep pass here. We saw a little out by Ragas and a fade by Schwartz. Great play design there. Take advantage of the one-on-one defense.
And Vettel goes one-on-one for Caleb, and the ball is caught. Touchdown Panthers, and this game is tied.
As Henshaw saw last year too, this is what he does best. Catching these jump balls, these back shoulder fades, and that was perfectly placed by Reed Vettel. Great play, two big passes, and that led to a touchdown. Let's see if they can tie it up here.
Great catch and throw by Vettel, the sophomore. The difference between Vettel and MacIntyre is Vettel will stay in there. MacIntyre likes to bounce out the pocket as much as he can, and if you see what happens when you stay in there. I mean, Vettel was able to go in there in 4 plays, able to take his team down the field and score. So let's see what they do. I mean, you would assume, they're getting 2 series each. If he gets on a roll and does well next series as well, he might stay in.
Yeah, and even with the pressure, Vettel can stay in the pocket because he has that height advantage over MacIntyre. So he's able to see a lot more things. But it looks like Chapman missed that extra point. They're down by 1. Touchdown right here. just one-on-one coverage, great back shoulder, and great box out by Caleb Henshaw. In fact, he was a great high school basketball player as well, so you can see that perfectly displayed right there.
Well, that basketball experience certainly paid off on that one. Short set it up, and Henshaw finished it off. So after the missed field goal attempt, Burrell will get set to kick it off.
Panthers right back in this one.
And a boot into the end zone. Ball's returned to the outside, and he's tackled out of bounds at the 20-yard line. That was number 15, Braden Ayala.
Great
Listed at
kickoff coverage
5'5".
right there.
It's a Darren Sproles on the field for you. It's interesting, both kickers for the Chapman this year were recruited as they're both freshmen, and it definitely was a need for this Chapman team.
Definitely, especially with the absence of Eli Deeb and the absence of their kickers as well. Let's see if they can step it up and add a boost to special teams. Is obviously something that's super important, but it's often overlooked. Let's see if they can add a boost to the Chapman game here.
Absolutely, and the ball was run to the left. That was running back Brad Mills on the carry. So the Pirates will have 5 men out, and Erickson back there alone. Trips on the bottom of your screen.
Let's see if they take advantage of his two-receiver side.
Erickson from the gun, dumps it out to his right. Quick catch and throw. Gains about 3.
Pirates are really spreading out the Panthers' defense, making them make open field tackles. And it looks like the Panthers aren't making many subs on the secondary or even in the interior. So we'll see. Let's see how well the defense is conditioned and how well they can keep up for the duration of the game.
We got trips on the left side.
Watch his backside receiver. Looks like one-on-one coverage here.
Erickson lets it go and is out of the reach.
Almost a pick by Dylan Keefe there. That would have gone straight to the house.
That ball was intended for Taylor Coste, but that brings up a 4th down. So 2 series in a row, the Chapman defense forces a turnover on downs.
I'm sure
or
Coach,
a fourth down,
yeah,
rather.
I'm sure Coach Bishop is happy with that one. That was a big 4th down, big 3rd down stop right there. Panthers gonna get the ball back. Looks like in pretty good field position.
All right, and that's Wyatt Harden back there to return for the Panthers. Still hasn't switched. Good punt. Harden elects to return. He has some room. Goes on the sideline, stays in bounds, and is swallowed up by number 47, Dylan Peterson.
Great field position for the Panthers. Looks like they're starting at their own 46. See if they can drive down the field, take the early lead here in the game. Vettel on his last drive went 2 for 2, 61 yards. Great start for him. It looks like he's back in the game for his 2nd series.
So Vettel back. Going to take it under center.
That tight offense. Last time they threw out of this. Let's see if they do here.
Vargas in motion. They hand it off on the jet sweep, and he loses about 1.
That was read perfectly by the Pirate defense.
They study film. So right now at receiver, we got Henshaw, Vargas, and Shorts in for the Panthers, and Reyes and Vettel still in the backfield.
He's got 2 high safeties, but they're playing fairly tight. I say take advantage of this one-on-one.
Vettel drops back. Pass was intended for tight end.
Number 88 is out for 1 play for helmet off.
And now he's had to sit out for 1 play as his helmet went off. Vettel played well last game, and he was able to come away as the leading passer for the Panthers.
third and long here. It's like 3rd and 12. We're going to see relatively deep pass here if the Panthers are going to be able to pick up the first down.
So 5-man out for the Panthers. Vettel has time and throws it, intended for Caleb, but incomplete.
That was great defense there by Whitworth.
And that brings up a 4th down, so the Panthers will punt it away.
Very stagnant drive there after their first explosive drive. Let's see who'll come back in the game. Either we'll see if it's Jonston making his comeback, or it'll be Vettel back in for his 3rd drive.
So far, so good. Chapman's hanging in there with the number 10 ranked team in the nation.
They are. It's looking like a field position game at this point.
The punt is away. Good roll as it goes right to the 10-yard line. And that's number 32 on the recover.
I think the Pirates need to go back to what they do best. Throwing it deep is what's been working for them so far. Even when it's been incomplete, it's been open. Let's see how the Panthers will adjust, if they will at all, and how the pressure is like with Erickson this time.
So this is the furthest that the Pirates have started from. Let's see if they can take it downfield and score. On the play action, a quick throw, and the ball is caught for a 1st down.
There's a rifle in there. That was great defense by the corner, but an even better throw, an even better catch, and a great move on Pat Calcagno right there to get extra yardage on that. YAC, yards after catch, that's a big thing.
And that was Jerusalem Toa on the reception.
I'm loving that name.
Oh, and
huge stop there. Dylan Keefe, no one else but him. He's doing it all for the Panther defense early on. It seems so far as Whitworth hasn't been able to do much on the ground at all. We see 5 rushing attempts for just 13 yards, about 2 yards per carry. I think they're going to air it out here on 2nd down.
so Chapman decides to blitz, hit as he throws, has a receiver in the hands of the wideout, but it winds up incomplete.
If he had more time there, he would have actually seen his slot receiver wide open on the post route. Unfortunately, or fortunately for the Panthers, they were able to get pressure in and force an errant throw.
Pass was intended for number 80, Ethan Peliquin, on the last attempt. So they have 5 wide. Erickson back there again in the gun. Arus on the blitz. And Chapman, and it's a fumble, and it's recovered by the Pirates. But that will bring up a 4th down, a 4th and long, and another defensive stop for the Panthers.
The Panthers are really banking on their pressure. As you can see, many plays, more often than not, they're playing some sort of man coverage, baiting Erickson to throwing these tough passes and making him battle with the pressure, seeing whichever one gets there first. But so far, Panthers are doing a great job. Other than that one deep pass, Erickson has only completed 7 other passes, not for much more than 50 yards.
So not much going there for the Pirates on that offensive drive.
That's a shank right there, but they're going to get a friendly bounce.
A nice little roll for the Pirates.
A little bit of a rugby kick there, huh, Nate?
Yeah. Guarantee he has some background in rugby. So the Panthers will take over on their own 35-yard line. As we can see the team huddled up. Looks like MacIntyre is going to go back out there. Let's see what he can do this time around. Didn't have much time to throw, couldn't find receivers, and decided to keep the play alive and run it. But that wasn't enough, so let's see what happens here. Play clock winding down. A handoff to freshman Isaiah Woods on the carry.
And remind you, Isaiah Woods is one who had a big 100-plus yard game last week, and that was his first college game. What a great start for that.
Absolutely. One of those old school running backs, not flashy, doesn't wear gloves, has tape around his hand. I mean, he's just a ground and pound kid, huh?
That's the love for football right there. That's what coaches love, honestly.
So just under a minute here, Jonston on the keeper. Was able to slide past one defender, but a gang of Pirates came and swallowed that up.
Nothing inside is working for either team. Both the front seven for both teams, they're playing dominant, honestly. And Panthers, it looks like we got around 9 attempts for just 20 yards. It's not working on the ground for them.
So let's see if the Panthers will get a play off before the quarter comes to an end.
Say watch out for Will Moody in the slot here.
A little play action, a quick throw to Henshaw. Henshaw puts a spin.
Spinner
and
right
brings
into
it
the
out
defender,
just over
though.
the 40. All right, and that is going to do it for the first quarter as the clock is winding down. The Chapman Panthers have 6, and the Whitworth Pirates with 7. A high-intensity first quarter, and we'll be back.
The end of the first quarter.
And the Panthers punted away. A fair catch. Oh! And he missed it, and the ball is put right into the hands of Duncan Heeger. And the Panthers will take over at the Pirates' 10-yard line.
What an opportunistic play by Duncan
Willie on the
there.
field with a muff
He
kick,
was a
recovered by
special
Chapman,
team
first
stud
down.
as a gunner last season as a freshman, and I think he just earned it. He really deserved that right there. Too bad he couldn't take that one to the end zone. Somehow the returner got back on his feet, made that tackle.
Talk about a start to the second quarter that you want. The Panthers will take over at the Pirates' 10-yard line. A little further back than that, but still great field possession nonetheless, as Johnson's out there for his second series.
So
Play action throw on the fade, and not thrown out of bounds. Pranav, as a DB, what was your hardest thing to do when you were out there against a number one receiver? Like, what was the number one thing you would watch out for?
For me as a safety, the biggest thing you gotta watch out for is the corner, because that's the hardest route to cover. You have to cover so much space on that. Panthers have done a great job throughout the years converting on those corner passes, especially like we've seen in the past with Jacob Isabel, Dominic Vacker. Let's see if they tried hitting for the corner of the end zone there with that fade. Let's see what they can do here in this tight formation.
All right, so the Panthers under center. Ragos motion out to the left. Johnson escapes a sack, has some room, and he runs it in for a touchdown. Jonston MacIntyre, son of former Colorado coach, runs it in for the touchdown.
He really made a lot out of nothing there. That play was stuffed. Defensive penetration on the line of scrimmage, they chased him out, and he was able to cut back, find his way through the defense, even at 5'8", and made a great cutback on the linebacker there for the touchdown, his second of the year.
So Chapman gets it in this time as the field goal is complete.
Nate, do I hear upset in the making?
And
we can see the touchdown here. Look at this great scramble. And the cutback. MacIntyre looking like an athlete.
hey,
I'm sure his
quarterbacks
father
are
is
athletes
proud.
too. They're the best athletes on the field.
And like you alluded to, Jonston MacIntyre's dad, Mike MacIntyre, he was the former head coach at University of Colorado. Now he is the defensive coordinator at Ole Miss. His older brother as well played under MacIntyre at Colorado as a receiver. Just a great lineage of great football talent.
So that all started with Duncan Heeger on the recover after the punt was muffled and dropped by the Pirates. And the Panthers were able to set up inside the 10-yard line and score in just 2 plays.
And that's a testament to how much the Panthers value special teams. Special teams coach Adams, he focuses on that so much. Even has a championship belt for best special teams player of the week.
Certainly, and I think Adams handed that over to new special teams coordinator Tim Burns, and he's making his mark known for coming in here and having his squad make plays like that, and only his 2nd game here for the Panthers.
Let's see how veteran quarterback Erickson responds here. I don't think the Pirates have been down for a while. Definitely not last game. I don't know when the last time they were down in the regular season.
Yeah, so this is certainly a test for the Pirates now, and not a cakewalk like 2 weeks ago against the Leopards. Erickson has a receiver out to his right, and a good wrap and tackle by Patrick.
That's why they got Calcagno on the field. That's what he does best, open field tackles. He's a big hitter. He's not afraid to put his head down and make those old school type of hits.
Yeah, looks can be deceiving. Patrick Calcagno out there looking like a high school athlete, but he's over there making big plays for this Chapman squad.
Yes, sir.
Erickson drops back, has a receiver open. Hit as he receives it, hangs on.
That was great coverage there by Churches, but it was a great back shoulder pass on the slant. But still will be 3rd down.
That was number 6, Nick McGill on the reception for the Pirates. So 3rd down and 2.
Looks like a passing situation here.
Man in motion. Erickson looks to his near side and passes incomplete as he nearly had it. But yet again, another defensive stop for the Panthers.
And Erickson had that out open. He just threw it way back shoulder, and Churches was able to get in there for the stop.
So that's the 3rd time in a row that this Panthers defense has come up big and forced the Pirates to punt it away.
3 straight 3-and-outs. Looking good for the Panther defense after a shaky start.
Well, in the beginning of this broadcast, we had freshman Isaiah Woods talk about how he wants to end this streak of being 0-19 against top-ranked teams, and they're certainly in good shape right now. Arden on the return, goes up the middle, almost broke it off, but was tackled and swallowed up by number 6, Nick McGill.
Looks like the Panthers are starting a lot of their possessions in good territory, in the 40 or even further past that in opponent's territory. That's going to be crucial to allowing these young quarterbacks to operate efficiently.
Certainly. So Vettel will be back on the field after MacIntyre ran it in for a touchdown. So both quarterbacks have a touchdown in the series that they've been out there. So a true battle still going on. Handoff is to Woods, and he was able to push it forward for maybe a yard, but was able to avoid the loss on that play.
Looks like first contact there was probably 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He plowed through for almost a 2-yard gain there. And I talked to MacIntyre earlier today. He told me that the Pirates allow a lot of short passes up the middle. I know the Panthers were able to succeed well in these deep passes early on, but let's see if they can attack the middle tonight, especially with Ragas.
So the Panthers aren't spread. Play action. Throw out to Shorts on the near side. And Shorts was able to get just enough for Chapman Panthers' 1st down. You know, if these quarterbacks keep playing this way, it's going to be a hard decision for 2.0 Coach Owens to make a decision on who his starting quarterback is as this season goes further.
And then the big question with this game alone, switching out these quarterbacks every 2 drives, that I'm sure you as a former quarterback know that probably takes off your rhythm and messes
Absolutely.
you up.
It makes it hard to get a rhythm going. As we see Isaiah Woods dancing in the middle, has some room, and that boy is quick. As the Chapman Panthers get yet another 1st down.
Hey, Nate, you said he was a downhill runner. I saw a little shiftiness right there.
I know. A little shake and bake. But see, his cuts are with a purpose. You see so many running backs nowadays just trying to dance to look pretty, but he makes 1-2 cuts and goes and hits it from north to south, not west to east. So Vettel in the gun. The Pirates on the tackle. And they get Isaiah Woods for a loss of about 1.
Too much penetration at the line here. Panthers have had so many negative rushes so far. It's forcing them into these long second downs, long third downs, forcing them to opt to obvious passing situations.
So 2nd down and 11. Isaiah Woods to Vettel's right. A quick show, and the play that got him the first down originally down to shorts only gives him about 4, and it'll bring up a 3rd and about 7.
Big man with some moves there. Looks like the screen game is working fairly well for the Panthers. It's a non-risky situation in the passing game, and it allows these quarterbacks to get in the rhythm that they need.
Yeah, and certainly I want to touch upon what you mentioned earlier. I mean, as a former quarterback, it is hard to, get a rhythm if you're switching out, every few series. So let's see how they're feeling here. Vettel drops back, has a receiver. Oh, and it is almost brought in Odell Beckham style by Caleb Henshaw, but it just came up short.
We had multiple receivers down open there. It looks like we had 4 seams there, just straight goes, all goes there. Panthers know they have the advantage in the speed and the height. Couldn't convert there, but it seems that they might be going for it on 4th down. It's a good position they are in here, inside the 35.
So offensive coordinator Casey Shine decides to go for it here on 4th down. Has trust in his young sophomore.
If I were him, I would just throw it up again to Henshaw one more time.
Vettel has time with throw. Has shorts and throws it behind him and incomplete. And the Pirates will take over on downs.
He had him too at the sticks. I don't know if there was a little bit of confusion there. It looks like Reed threw it kind of like a hitch route while Shorts ran a little bit of a curl, a little bit of it in there.
So as the Panthers turn it over on downs, they still sit on a 6-point lead. And the Pirates offense is going to look to come out here firing.
It's a crucial possession for both sides to see if the Pirates can get any offense going.
Erickson has a receiver open, and that is number 6, Nick McGill, on the grab up on the top shelf where the little kids can't get it.
I don't think there's anything you can do there as a cornerback. First of all, you playing man coverage, you got to look towards the man. That was perfectly placed, perfectly caught. No corner is going to make a play on that ball.
And that was Hunter Osada on the defensive play. Here the Pirates run it out to the left. Number 2, Braden Corona on the run for a gain of about 5.
Looks like we have Noah Chose, one of the defensive ends, already with 7 tackles. Dylan Keefe also doing well with 4 tackles himself. It's going to be the line that's been playing extremely well for the Panthers defense tonight.
So on a 2nd and 5, man out in motion, dumps it off to Corona, and Corona goes out of bounds. Let's see where they mark him. Just short of the 1st down. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Pirates. On 3 plays, they drove it and cut it down to nearly half of where they started.
And they're going real fast right now.
So hurry up offense for the Pirates. Erickson on the keeper and able to reel it in for a 1st down. And as a former defensive player, Pranav, when you see an offense going no huddle, do you get tired easy, or how do you prepare for that?
The defensive backs especially, they're the ones who are running the most. They're the ones who have to see where the receivers are, and they're not staying in the same coverage. They're flipping coverages constantly. So it's playing defensive back is such a mental game, especially defense, and adjusting to this no huddle offense is gonna be a struggle.
So David Aros on the blitz. Erickson has a receiver on his right side and is reeled in for a touchdown. Pirates. But there's a flag on the play.
It looks like Erickson and the Whitworth offense and the offensive coordinator has found a weakness in one of the corners, Hunter Osada.
So let's hear what they have to say, but I believe this is coming back.
And it looks like they're going to be trying to take advantage of that.
Result in a touchdown.
So no foul on the play. I guess they were practicing tossing their flags. But Jerusalem Toa reels that in for the touchdown Pirates, and they tie it up.
So we had man coverage here, and it's just a tough pass, tough play playing the fade and one-on-one man coverage inside the 30.
So Noah Alejado is going to try to put this game ahead by 1.
It looks like it's no good, Nate.
Yep.
So we still have a tie game. A lot of interesting stuff going on. And as we can see here, Erickson with a dime. Receiver getting past Osada there. As a defensive back, that's one of the hardest routes to cover, especially as a corner. And as most people can agree, cornerback is one of the hardest positions because you honestly, first of all, you're facing backwards. We're not, as humans, meant to run backwards. And second of all, we don't know what the routes are. The receiver knows exactly what's going on. The quarterback knows exactly what's going on. And we just have to play exactly, pretty much catch up.
Absolutely. I think that, cornerbacks have the second hardest position on the field behind quarterbacks. But
I say that's a little biased.
But it is a little biased. But, you're right. It is an unorthodox movement for DBs as they're playing backwards, and they're playing a reaction game, essentially. And if you have a receiver, that's lightning quick, it makes it tough on you. So you have to, be, fast reaction-wise and be able to move where their defender or the receiver goes. So short kick. Harden reels it in at about the 20-yard line and is stopped at their own 25. So the Panthers will take over. And I believe Vettel will continue on his series as MacIntyre rests. So they came up short. Last series weren't able to score. And let's see if Casey Shine can continue to pick on those smaller DBs that Vettel was able to, pick on in his last series and get some good yardage.
Big thing, too, he's going to need time in the pocket here, especially to air out those deep passes.
Vettel on the play fake. And pass is intended for Henshaw.
Looks like the Pirates are playing a little bit lax on the secondary side. Their corners are playing a little bit off, knowing that the deep threats are a real challenge for them right now.
So right now for the Panthers, it looks like they're going with their 3-receiver arsenal of Shorts, Ragas, and Henshaw. And Reyes back in the game for the Panthers. Reed with time. Dumps it off to Shorts on that quick throw, and that seems to be working. Shorts picks up a first down as he had some room but just got swallowed up by number 8, Jalen Gonzalez for the Pirates.
And that's 3 screens to Shorts already. Looks like they're going to be banking on this little short passing game.
Well, it looks like the Pirates give up, a lot of yardage on the short routes, and I spoke to Vettel earlier this week, and he said they're going to continue to take what the defense is giving them, and that seems to be working as he throws it to the mid-yard line or at the 49-yard line, and almost a first down to Henshaw.
And again, that route is so hard, so tough to guard, especially like Caleb Henshaw just boxing out the defender there.
So the Panthers seem to be hurrying it up themselves here.
I think they were trying to see what the Pirate defense was like, trying to get them on that hard count, and now looks like they're actually running their auto-playing to another play here.
So an offense similar to the Rams and Sean McVay as they want to survey the defense, and that's Tanner Mendoza on the run. And Forward Progress would say he got a first down, and that is what the refs are going to mark it. So first down, Panthers.
But you saw that big hit there by Jalen Gonzalez. Like we said before, he's one of the keys to this Whitworth defense, and he's a big guy.
So the Panthers are across midfield now. 1st and 10. Vettel has a man up the middle, and the ball is picked off. Intended for Kistner, the tight end, but just out of reach, and that ball is picked off by the Pirates. And it is turnover on downs. Zach Hillman on the interception.
Panthers, again, they ran 4 verts there, and the Whitworth defense was playing quarters there, so they had 4 deep deep cornerbacks and safeties. That was not necessarily the best play to run there.
So a mistake by the young quarterback. And the Pirates take over. Eckerson hands it off to Corona on the right side, and the Chapman defense swallows that up.
So Ricky Medeiros, number 91.
So Corona seems to be getting a little help from his friendly ref right there. He probably paid him in.
I don't know if you can say that. Passing down here.
So Erickson has a man, and again, just out of reach. He likes to let the deep ball go.
He does, but that was covered well by Nate Parkin there. You can see Reed Vettel throwing that pick right over the shoulders of James Kistner. Tough play there. Looked like there all 4 DBs were well past there, had enough cushion over their receivers that there was no real threat for the Panthers there.
So this Chapman defense playing well all game. And now they're forcing the Pirates into a 3rd and almost intercepted, as now it will be 4th down.
Erickson had his receiver wide open. He just had some sort of miscommunication with his receiver, but that would have been a 1st down.
So that'll bring up another 4th down, 4th and 11 for the Pirates as they get set to punt it off. And this Chapman defense is really what's keeping this team in the game after the Panthers' last 2 offensive drives weren't much. And as a former defensive player for the Panthers, what is their go-to scheme that they run?
So before, they actually used to play a lot more lax on the defensive side, but now they're playing. Oh, we got a block kick here.
Punt, and the Panthers will take over. Jalen Durrell on that play.
And I know we're going to see that soon in a bit, but apart from that being blocked, I think it was just a very low kick. And got no height on it, and that's what caused it to be blocked there. Another very opportune moment for the Panthers on special teams here, getting the ball inside of the 15-yard line once again.
So their special team is coming out firing, and Coach Tim Burns is looking good.
MacIntyre back in.
So let's see if we'll notice another MacIntyre tuck and run for a touchdown.
Got a tight formation here.
So a handoff to the right, and Marcos Reyes stays on his feet
Number 25
for a gain of about 2.
Tackled by number 87, Charlie Ball.
And as you can see here, here's the blocked kick, but that kick would have gotten off, except as you can see, that kick was shanked from the start. It was too low. But let's see if the Panthers can capitalize on it here.
Yeah, after looking at that replay, the kicker just kicked it into his own defender, and Jalen came up with the recover, but that's just as good.
So Jalen is getting the praise for that, but a lot of that has to do on the kicker.
MacIntyre drops back with time, decides to run it, and that'll bring up a 3rd and goal as he picks up about 2 yards.
Looks like he was trying to go for that skinny post to Henshaw there. It was slightly open, but it was definitely good coverage by the Pirates there. And as we saw, he tried rushing it again. That didn't work out this time. Pirates were on top of that.
So Jonston MacIntyre with only 6 yards passing. More of a runner tonight. And the Pirates bring in a whole new defensive line to try to attack him.
A touchdown right here would look nice to his stats.
So Jonston drops back and decides to run it again, and he loses it in the end zone, but it's recovered by the Panthers and touchdown.
Wow. MacIntyre doing it all, at least on the run side, but it looks like he got in before the ball came out. I think they should credit that one to MacIntyre there.
So another running touchdown from MacIntyre as the Panthers capitalize on that huge defensive play by the special teams.
And MacIntyre, surprisingly, is their leading rusher for today, and already with 2 touchdowns. Let's see what else he can do.
So Owen Tapia taps it in, and the Panthers go up 7.
We're going to see a touchdown right here. MacIntyre looking nothing open. Just goes right up the middle. Barrels in. Touchdown.
So with that being Johnston's second rushing touchdown, you'd got to assume that this Pirates defense is either going to put a spy out there or try to contain the quarterback because, you know, so far this game he hasn't been able to throw, so they're stopping that. But he's able to just survey the field and take off and run and make a play.
And their straight rushing game also is not working. It's these scrambles on these pass plays, these broken plays essentially that is what is getting the Panthers this edge over the Pirates tonight.
So kicks it off, a short kick and a wave of the hand. And the Pirates will take over.
The Pirates, what the Panthers need here is another 3 and out and another touchdown. 14-point lead going to half. That would be big, especially going against the number 10 team in the country. We don't know what's in store for the second half, but 14 points, 2 touchdowns, that's going to be hard to overcome.
So let's see what the veteran Erickson can do here on this drive. Arrows gets free on the blitz as it was a screen pass. And it was intended for the running back, but it is incomplete. Brad Mills.
And they had that screen pass set up. They had 2 offensive linemen blocking. They just had 1 Chapman defender to beat. That could have gone the distance.
So the Panthers hanging in there as they're up 7 against the number 10 ranked team in the nation. It's got to feel good for those players out in the field right now, huh?
It does, and it's a lot of revenge from last year's 31-28 heartbreaking defeat.
So Erickson scrambles to his right, has time, and was able to get it off, but incomplete as it was out of the reach.
You saw Erickson pointing with his finger there. There was a little bit of audible on a scramble, telling receivers where to go on that broken play. Almost worked for them there. It's like a point guard directing the offense there.
Certainly, and that's essentially what a quarterback is you know, it's equivalent to the point guard of basketball. I don't know what I would equate that to in baseball, but so another 3rd down, 3rd and 10 here for the Pirates. Chapman drops him back. He has a receiver, and it is tipped by Dylan Keefe, the linebacker, going one-on-one with the receiver, as that ball was intended for Andrew Meredith.
And Nate, honestly, I don't know what Dylan Keefe cannot do. That was a play of a cornerback right there, pretty much. He's doing it all. Dylan Keefe, they were D2 team of the week last week. He had 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 3 tackles for loss, a blocked punt. I'd say probably this game he'll match or top all those numbers.
Yeah, that's definitely the heartbeat of that Chapman defense. A good punt by the Pirates. Harden from the 30. Harden dancing. Stays up. Just to go back right where he started.
Big drive for the Panthers here. Like I said, 2 touchdown lead going into the half. That would do a lot for their confidence.
Yeah, with the second quarter winding down just under 5 minutes, you're right. I mean, if the Panthers can drive down the field and score, that'll give them a huge momentum going into the second half.
And at least from last season, the Panthers are more of a second half team. They don't do as well in the first half. So, given that, we're in for a big game for the Panthers tonight.
So Jonston
Empty
stays
set.
in. Oh, on the quick fake, and they're running it with him. They're running it. Why not? If it ain't broke, why fix it?
I'm gonna be honest. Jonston is really shocking some heads tonight. He was never known as a rushing quarterback. I'm sure even his own coaches didn't think so. But that is what is doing it. That's what's getting it done for the Chapman offense tonight.
So they're coming out firing. Isaiah Woods in the backfield for the Panthers. High snap, able to get it down and hands it off to Woods, and Woods has some room. He makes a move for another Chapman Panthers first down.
He squeezed right through that extremely tight hole right there and almost made that nice cut on the safety, but just got tripped up at the last moment. But still enough for a first down there.
Great play by Jonston, able to keep that play alive as there was a high snap, and he was able to put it in the hands of Woods so he can do his thing. Oh, and a quick dump off as MacIntyre tried to get it in the hands of Woods, but it was incomplete, and a player down for the Pirates.
See that nice run right there, but look at him squeeze through that defense and almost make that break on that tackle, but if he had that, could have gone to the distance there.
Absolutely, and that's number 3, Andrew McCoy, hurt for the Pirates. So Woods, after that good run, decides to stay in the game.
Passing situation here, 2nd and 10. Looks like the outside backers are blitzing here. Let's see what the Panthers will do to adjust to that. Maybe a quick slant pass inside.
Ragas in the slot. MacIntyre hit as he throws. Jump ball and short. Almost came up with it on the second take. Luckily that thing wasn't picked off.
By the books, people would say that's a terrible read because that receiver is not open at all. But knowing the matchup there, looking at that corner, not much over 5'7", but shorts there at 6'3", 6'4". That was a great decision, just throwing it up, giving him a chance. He almost came down with it there too.
Yep, a great breakup play by number 39 for the Pirates, Bryce Hornbeck. And as you said, he's not too tall. He's only 5'7".
I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to it again here.
Another run, a quick shift, and Jonston has some room. Jonston picks up the first down across the 30-yard line for Panthers first down.
I'm feeling a sense of deja vu. That looked like exactly like what happened a couple plays earlier, and Jonston got right past that defensive end who just dove at his feet and picks up a first down fairly easily.
So Jonston with 9 rushes, 48 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Should list him as a running back. The way he's playing today. So the Pirates, let's see if they can find a solution for Jonston MacIntyre here on this drive. In the gun, Jonston has a receiver, throws it up to Henshaw, hit and still up as he's finally brought down by a Pirate.
What a risky throw by Jonston, but I say that's the best pass of the night. Either team, that was right in between the corner and the safety, and the only place you could put that. He read the defense perfectly there.
First down on the visitor 7.
So the Panthers offense is driving downfield after a great couple of runs. between Woods and MacIntyre. We get a handoff to the right. The Pirates going for the strip.
Yeah.
Isaiah Woods on the carry.
So that brings up a 2nd and goal for the Panthers.
Number 24, Caleb Jones on the tackle.
There's the man right there, head honcho, Coach Owens. And again, the offense for Chapman trying to get the Pirates to jump, but they're disciplined. So they go back to the same play, and Woods has an open lane, and he goes in as he's tripped up, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Panthers.
The freshman's 2nd of the year. And that's a perfect play because you got to respect MacIntyre on that keep there. So you have to, the linebackers have to stay true to that, allowing Woods to go wide open into the end zone there.
So great run on that play by the freshman Isaiah Woods. And the Panthers have a chance to go up 14. And the kick is good. And so with the 2-touchdown lead just at the 2-minute mark, what do you think is going through the Panthers' heads as they know they came into this game, ranked number 10. Their mindset was, oh, we're going to, gonna handle this. We're going to fly over to California, and handle business. But so far, not so good for them.
I think the Pirates are shocked, honestly. I'm sure they had a lot of confidence being ranked number 10. But in addition to that, getting the victory against the Panthers last year gave them a lot of confidence with a lot of returners especially. But the Panthers really, after those first couple of kind of sketchy drives, we have seen them pick it up. This MacIntyre, after the two quarterback switches, we have seen him kind of come into his own. Not necessarily on the passing end, but he's really, really doing a lot on the ground offensively.
So Burrell kicks it off for the Panthers. Another short kick. That's returned by McVale.
See a flag on the ground there. But what the Panthers did do, they did leave the Pirates a little bit of time here. 2 minutes is a lot of time. Could drive down the field, cut this down to a 1-possession game here.
Holding, number 53, the return team. 10 yards from the spot of foul. First down, Whitworth.
So the Pirates not helping themselves up helping themselves out as they're pushed back and have to drive further if they want to score at the end of this first half. So a Pirate shaking up here on the play on the return.
Giving both teams a breather. I'm sure the Chapman defense needs this with this no-huddle Whitworth offense going at a really fast pace. We can see Erickson so far having not too great of a game, not too bad of a game. 13 for 27, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns. Definitely not nearly the numbers that you put up last week against Laverne with the 5 first-half touchdowns.
So that's number 13 for the Pirates. Couldn't see his number, couldn't see who it was at first. That's number 43. Looks to be like an ankle problem as he's helped off the field. And you hate to see a man shaking up. It is football, but you hate to see it.
And speaking of injuries, the Panthers are dealing with a great deal of injuries on their own, especially like we mentioned in pregame. Trevorville, 3 of their top receivers, honestly, out for the game, maybe even for the season. But it seems so far the offense has been able to manage with that. And the secondary as well, missing 2 of their starting DBs. They have only allowed 2 touchdowns thus far.
Erickson from the gun. Dumps it off to Corona as he goes out of bounds.
Smart play there for the Pirates. Quick pass, 6 or 7 yards, getting out of bounds, saving that clock.
For Southland, number 35.
So as you mentioned, the top 3 receivers for Chapman out, or at least one of the top 3, and it certainly isn't phasing them. And that's what you want for a team. And Erickson passes incomplete, intended for Derek Platt.
And although they don't really have many of their great receivers, they've been doing somewhat proficient in the receiving game, but they are finding a way to combat some of those difficulties in other ways, especially as we've seen with MacIntyre and Woods in the running game, combining for three tubbies on the ground.
So the Pirates line up in trips, and the Panthers bring it. Erickson dumps it over the middle on the cross route, and that's Jerusalem.
And those are the type of passes that are going to be open, especially on the blitzes. But sending the linebackers, those crossing routes up the middle, that's what they're going to have to look for.
So great catch for a first down, but the clock still winds down for the Pirates. Erickson unloads. Again, has a man deep, but just out of the reach.
And who's there again? It's Dylan Keefe.
Dylan Keefe. Erickson's been in the weight room a little too much this week, huh?
Overthrowing some of them.
But Dylan Keefe, talk about a guy who's the focal point of this defense, who's, really just running around everywhere, in the middle of everything.
Probably could say early MVP of the game.
Let's see. They bring the blitz. Keefe there, but Erickson able to dump it off to Corona. Corona stays on his feet, fighting for that first down. Not gonna get it.
That's actually close. I don't know about that spot. He didn't look like he got that far, but they're gonna call it a first down, and that's big for the Pirates because that stops the clock. And with 109, they're gonna need all the time they can get.
So the refs are gonna rule that a first down, and as Pranav said, it stops the clock. And hurry up offense again as he dumps it off, and they get out of bounds.
Great penetration there by Calcagno, forcing just a one-yard gain.
So Taylor Colstay on the catch on the quick wide receiver screen.
The Pirates are going to have to air it out. These screen passes are not going to cut it if they're trying to get to the end zone.
So they line up in trips yet again. High snap.
They want
Erickson unloads. One-on-one, Dylan Keefe, and he almost nearly comes off with that interception. Again, the same two, Dylan Keefe
Why are they testing
against
my boy
Meredith.
Keefe?
I don't know.
They got to quit. It's not working.
Go down there and tell him. Or don't, because we don't want to help.
Looks like Keefe is coming out of the game, though. He has been running a lot down the field.
So great play by Dylan Keefe. That's going to bring up a third down as we're just under 1 minute here left in the first half. With time, Erickson.
I said pick.
And nearly picked off yet again. Dangerous throw by Erickson as Calcagno almost came up with that interception.
With the perfect read, and I think that would have been his first pick in his collegiate career.
So that brings up a fourth down, and the Pirates are not going for it as they're backed up on their own 45, and they're going to punt it away with Harden back there to return.
Looks like Calcagno's a little bit angry at himself for not coming down with that one. But we'll see if the Panthers can get good field position here. We got 48 seconds left.
Do you think
see what they can do?
Do you think they score? Do you think they just take it into halftime happy with that 2-point lead, especially now being at their
Depends
own
on
20?
what this flag is. Let's see what we got here. But we see Vettel coming to the game, and that's the passing quarterback. So we might see them air it out. At least try first and second down, and if not, just run out the clock on third down.
off the second half of this great game that's been happening in the first half, and the Panthers are coming out firing. You know, they play well, and they've pretty much taken over this game, and they have the majority of the highlights.
And like I said, they haven't been able to do it so much on the passing end, but their run game, unorthodox run games, have been able to do it. As we can see here, early on the passing game work, taking on the smaller corners, we see Caleb Henshaw on the Reed Vettel connection. Great pass there for the early touchdown to, I think it was 7-6 at that point. We see Jonston MacIntyre here. We're going to see a little nice scramble, making a lot out of nothing. And you see a little juke here, getting in for the touchdown, giving the Panthers the lead here. Jonston fired up about that one. You see Jonston back again, doing what he has to do to get in the end zone. It's not gonna, if it's not gonna work on the passing side, he's got to do it. Rushing in for another touchdown. And a big play here. This is the second time in this drive that Hunter Minnesota has been picked on. The no-huddle offense has been a large reason for that, tiring out these Chapman defenders, and see if they go back to that in the second half. And Vettel here with the errant throw over James Kisser's head. The one interception for the Pirates tonight. And finally, the second big play on special teams. Jalen Doral with the block to set them up in field goal position. Touchdown position.
All right, so with that, we're going to take a look at the first half stats, and the Panthers are up 14, a total of 249 yards compared to the Pirates 193. Panthers are not winning in the passing yards category, but they're crushing it in the rushing yards as they have more than 100 than the Pirates. Now let's go down to Erin and check in with her on the sideline.
At about the 2-minute mark, we saw defensive. Thanks, guys. At the 2-minute mark, we saw defensive lineman Solo Gray go down pretty hard. And after talking to an athletic trainer, they said it was a lower leg injury, and they were going to take halftime to assess him and see the severity of the injury. So we'll come back and see if he comes back into the game or not. And then I also had a chance to talk to Coach O and talk about the advantages of having two regular quarterbacks instead of one starting quarterback throughout the whole game. And Coach O said having two quarterbacks, one that is very run dominant and one that is very throw dominant, is important in confusing the defense, and that's what's making a very dominant score on the scoreboard tonight. And he said what he's going to tell his guys during halftime is to look at the scoreboard as 0-0 so they come back with the intensity that they need to finish up this game tonight. Thanks, guys, and back to you.
All right. Thank you, Erin. Thank you so much for that update. And with that, I mean, she brings up a good point, you know, and we kind of touched upon it in the broadcast earlier. You know, with two quarterbacks, it's kind of hard to get in a rhythm. But, I mean, today we're seeing Jonston, you know, running it in and having that rhythm on his side, as well as Reed. You know, despite that first half interception, he's still hanging in there, has a touchdown, and he's hanging in that pocket and doing what he does best. Yeah, and it might not look like it, but they put up about 100-something yards of passing, and they had 16 yards per completion. So they're taking advantage of these smaller corners, throwing it up, giving their taller receivers more options. And even when there is coverage, they're just throwing the ball up, giving their receivers a chance. And that's going to be big for them this half. All right, and as we get ready to kick off the second half, we'll update you on that Georgia game as they won 37-17 here tonight. Correction, 23-17 against Notre Dame.
Back to take the kick, number 5, Noah Alejado.
All right, let's kick off the second half. Here we go. Harden back for the Panthers, returning this one from inside their 5-yard line. And he's tackled just as he crosses the 20. And if you've noticed, on all three of the kickoffs so far, they've avoided Ragas. And
I think that's intentional because of his great performance as a kick returner and punt returner last year. He, I believe, scored 2 touchdowns as a kick returner, which is a lot. That's one of the most in Division III this last year.
Absolutely, and he scored his first 2 in the first 2 games, and you know we're in the second game of the season, so they're smart on their side not to kick it to him. So that's number 13 in the slot. You see Spencer Corona coming in for the Panthers, getting some play time. Vettel leads it off on the play action, dumps it out to shorts. It's been working all game, but on that one he swallowed up.
Seems like the coaches for Whitworth, they saw the screen coming repeatedly to Zach Shorts, and they know what to do this time. Let's see, maybe a little screen and fake, and then throw fade on that, like Whitworth did for that early first touchdown.
So that'll bring down a 2nd and 10. Correction, 2nd and 9 as he got a yard. Marcos Reyes back into the game in the backfield with a new pair of gloves on. Vettel steps up in the pocket, stays alive, trying to find some time. He's not going to stay up, and he's swallowed in the backfield for a loss of almost nearly 10 yards.
That's huge for the Pirates. Now brings up a 3rd and 20. Very tough play for the Panthers here.
So not the start the Panthers are looking for, as the Pirates force them into a 3rd and very long. The Panthers are going to bring out 5 wide receivers on this play. So you would assume they're going to let it loose and try to hopefully find something downfield.
Look for Henshaw here on the fade.
So Vettel looks back, looks near side, steps up in the pocket, has time, throws it to Henshaw, just a little behind, and he comes up and catches it.
Wow.
Nearly catches it as it hits the ground. Dangerous pass. Henshaw almost able to keep that alive, but nonetheless, they would have been short of the first down. So, I mean, you kind of hope, I mean, you know, you're kind of grateful that they incompleted that pass, and now they can just kick it off and have no pressure on them. But rough first starts out the half for them, and, you know, coming out the gates, that's not what you want to see in your offense.
That's true. Should have been caught there, but it was a great effort on that second attempt.
A high punt returned by the Pirates.
Great swarming defense there.
That's Isaiah. That's Ian Wong on the return.
As you can see, they injured Frankie Narez on the sideline. He was one of the key contributors last season and even early on this season at corner. And we see here one of the touchdowns from early on in the game. Let's see if they go back to the deep ball here. And let's see how Hunter set of affairs. A little bit first half adversity. Penalty here will push back the Pirates roughly 15 yards to the 27-yard line.
So here is the Pirates to take over. Erickson looks to lead his offense down the field and get back into this game. A run to the left. Corona has some room. Takes it right into Jalen Durrell as he comes up with the tackle. Assisted by Burrell. Excuse me, Bunnell on the assist.
See Jonathan Bunnell. He may look intimidating, but he's actually one of the nicest guys on the team. Trying to break that stereotype of as jock football players.
Erickson dumps it off near side again. That's reeled in by number 87, Taylor Colstay, and tackled by Hosada.
And I'm sure the Panthers will be fine with completions like that. I think they're gonna make Erickson beat them short, complete a ton of passes, but I think they're gonna focus on keeping the deep passes incomplete.
So Erickson lets it go, and One-on-one ball, picks on Hosada again, and the ball is reeled in. Nick McGill reaches up for that,
And again,
and
there
sets up a first down for the Pirates.
Again, there, as I said, like before, that kind of play, there's nothing you can do as a corner, especially as a shorter corner. Those are just jump balls that perfectly placed cannot be done. Nothing can be done about it.
So the veteran picking on the first-year player as he keeps it. He's tackled in the background, in the backfield.
And we saw Sada has subbed out. We got a new corner in for the first time. I think it's the first substitution in the defensive secondary, actually.
So with just under 20 yards rushing total for the Pirates, you can see that their theme seems to be airing it out, as Erickson already has 36 pass attempts. And he lets it fly on this one, a little wobbly, but again, one-on-one ball, and let's see what they call it. He
I think that's
catches
incomplete.
But they rule it incomplete as he drops it as he went out of bounds.
I think he did come up with that one, but he bobbled it as he's coming out of bounds, so fortunately that's going to be incomplete for them. But it looks like they're targeting the shorter corners like the Panthers have done as well. And number 6 is really coming down with these balls, playing like Trevor Ville did last season.
Absolutely, and that's number 9 for the Panthers. Freshman Isaac Holbrook, a DB, listed at 5'9", coming up on that play.
And don't forget, he's a freshman, so this is one of his first sights at the field tonight.
Erickson, a perfect throw, but right through the hands of his receiver. Number 24, Andrew Meredith, couldn't come up with that one.
And those are the passes that the quarterback really needs to trust the receiver on, because you saw he threw that before he even broke.
Yeah, that was a good throw by Erickson, but the receiver just didn't turn his head around in time, and now it leads to a 4th down yet again for the Pirates.
Pirates are just not capitalizing on their opportunities. They're getting them. They just haven't been able to make the most out of them.
Absolutely. And this Chapman defense is just coming up big, as well as their special teams. A good punt by the Pirates. They're going to get a friendly roll right to the 1-yard line.
Perfect kick there.
And a great punt by the Pirates. So with that, the Panthers offense will be coming back out on the field. Not the best field position, not the ideal field position that they want. But let's see what they're made of. I mean, their offense has been great all game. They're crushing it in the rushing yard category. I think Jonston will be going back in, and he's the runner. So let's see if he has a couple takes in here this time, and see if they can drive downfield.
But starting deep inside of their territory, it looks like the 1 or 2 yard line, they're going to have to watch out for these blitzes from their star-studded linebackers. Their interior running game hasn't been the best so far, so we'll see if a safety is possible here for the Pirates.
So Chapman decides to leave Vettel in as they try to escape the 1-yard line, and the whistles are blown here. Timeout, Pirates.
Timeout, Whitworth, their first of the half.
I know this might seem risky, but I think this might be a great opportunity for Reed Vettel to air it out deep. We're seeing, at least we saw in this last formation, that was man coverage. They had no deep safeties over there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just throw it up, hoping for the best. And if anything, it'll just be second down at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Chapman's game plan was to take advantage of what they could, of what the defense was giving them. And I mean, if they're going man to man, it's just a true test of one-on-one ball, and it's straight up. Who's the better man out there? And Chapman trusts their offense to do that. Then why not air it out? It's a change of game plan for this defense from the Pirates, because they usually play a quarter look. Sometimes a cover 6 look, right? But usually zone coverage, and so they're going to man. They're switching things up as they've been eaten alive on the run game and that zone coverage. So let's see what happens here.
You can see here they've got the 2 tall wide receivers, number 10, number 8, Zach Shorts and Caleb Henshaw. And there's not much deep help. Let's see if they pick on this here. It's like MacIntyre is calling an audible.
As he calls it audible, the defense
Watch
reacts.
Ragus on the skinny post. I think that would be wide open.
And they decide to rush it, and he's crushed. And let's see what they give him, but it's not much.
Maybe 1 yard at most there. The Pirates are baiting Jonston to throw this.
So they start off with Vettel on one play. Doesn't even get it off because of the blown whistle and the timeout, and they decide to put Jonston in there because he's been killing it all game on the ground. But you're right. Let's see if the Pirates know that he can run. So let's see if they force him to throw.
And as you and I both know, Casey Shine is known to roll the dice, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if he does that here.
Absolutely not. And the Pirates decide to bring it in an option toss out to the right, and Reyes with the truck. Nice move as he's able to get just past the first down.
I actually had the opportunity to know Reyes for a while now, and I had the opportunity to interview him back when he was in high school at Aptos, where he rushed for over 2,000 yards, broke several school records, and a lot of his teammates compared him to Marshawn Lynch, and we perfectly saw a great example of that there.
Well, he's a hard runner, and he has some room, Reyes down the sideline, loses gas, but what a run by Marcos Reyes. Able to get the Panthers in scoring position as they cross midfield and land in the Pirates' territory.
Man, oh man, and this guy's just a freshman. This is a strong run here. I think after that big run, just play ago, he got a little bit tired there, but we see it air him out deep.
And Zach Shorts with the completion.
Like I said before, just giving the receivers a chance. You can even see on the screen that height advantage. Not a great pass, but Zach Shorts just using his body to box out the defender and just catching it.
So that was Zach Shorts on the reception. He just beat his man, Bryce Holmbrook, the DB junior, and he's just taller. But we got a shaken up Pirate on the play. As soon as we'll find out, we'll let you guys know whom that is.
And more on Marcos Reyes. When I talked to him, he was so much more than just a football player. He even his coach said this. He affected the community so much. He was one of the greatest inspirations in his school, and on top of that, he was I believe it was like a 4.5 GPA student. He was an honor roll student. And coming here to Chapman, he's already made such a big impact as just a freshman. And like some of his teammates have said, he's on path to an all-SCIAC season, all-SCIAC career, and maybe even All-American mentions later on in his career.
So that was number 87, Charlie Ball, who was shaken up in the play as he was able to walk off the field with the trainers.
We see that run here again, breaking 2 tackles. And then another one right there. The powerful back. Marcos Reyes not the biggest, but he'll run hard. And unfortunately, he ran out of gas there, but it's all good.
The one thing that catches my eye besides that amazing run by Reyes is how Jonston was able to go downfield and block. I mean, you love to see your quarterback running downfield and putting down a block on a guy twice his size.
And MacIntyre's not scared, as we've seen that before.
So another handoff to the right. It's going to be a loss of yards here. Isaiah Woods on the carry, giving Reyes a break. So this Chapman offense coming out the second half on a pretty good note. I mean, this series started at their own 1 yard line, and they were able to take it downfield
here.
Give him a chance, and just out of the hands of Caleb Henshaw. Coach O looking for a flag on that play.
Right idea there. That's 6'3" on 5'7". That is more often than not going to work for the offense.
I mean, you're taking those, the probability of him coming down with it is greater than him not. So I mean, you're taking those chances every time you get.
The only issue there is Jonston kind of put that on the line, not airing it out, putting it up high for Henshaw to come up with it. If he did that, that's probably a touchdown.
So 2 tight end set here for the Panthers as Will Muty comes
Watch
in.
out for the corner route here.
MacIntyre has time. He rolls to his left. Puts a move on Jalen Gonzalez. Has time. Throws it across his body.
Oh, my
and
God.
is almost reeled in by James Kistner.
This is an interesting route combination there. I saw Zach Shorts run in the slot. He ran a little skinny post there into the defense. I'd say if he turned that out for a corner, that would have been wide open in the pylon.
Definitely. Now, because he didn't do that, it brings up a 4th down, and MacIntyre almost able to come up with the play there.
And we'll see. We'll see how good this kicking game is for the Panthers, but I don't know. Watch out for Pat here.
So if he gets this,
That looks wide to the
and it
right.
is no good, and so that means that the Chapman Panthers have still only 1 field goal in the last 2 years made. That's a
Wow.
crazy stat for you.
I mean, especially with D3 football, it's hard to get these special teams players, and we've had our luck with that, especially like I said with Eli Deeb, the punter. But in our kicking game, we've had a lot of inconsistencies, and especially with the freshman kicker, there's a lot of nerves going to those kicks. You've been preparing that for all week, and you just have one opportunity to succeed there.
So the Pirates to take over at their own 20-yard line.
And Isaac Holbrook is still in the game here. See what he can do at cornerback, replacing
Handoff
Hunter
to the
Asota.
outside. Corona picks up the 1st down before going out of bounds.
Good blocking on the outside by the receivers as well.
So Pranav, when you played, what made you choose your number? I mean, you think these players have a sentimental meaning to the number they choose and the number they wear and represent on their jersey. Any reason? Any special reason behind yours?
Well, so my number, as we see Whitworth run here, not much going there.
Still on his feet.
But my number at Chapman, that was number 9. I didn't get to choose that number, but back in high school when I was number 4, that has to do with kind of my origins of playing football. Back when I was in 3rd grade, I was doing a book report, looking for books around the library, somehow found a book about Brett Favre, and that's how I kind of fell in love with the sport of football. Brett Favre obviously being number 4. So I kind of embodied that. Always wanted to be a quarterback back in my days. Didn't work out for me, but I ended up as a DB and fell in love with that.
Well, that explains your last username on social media as Erickson drops it down to his big tight end, and he drags him almost like he was running with the, that sack game that
His shoestring tackle looks like he came pretty far to make that tackle, but he'll be coming back. Hunter Asota will be coming back out to see what the Pirates will do about that.
I mean, you gotta give credit to the Pirates as they're attacking those inexperienced DBs as they're doing it right now, and miscommunication there. But I mean, it's smart. I mean, if that's the game plan going in, because you don't want to go towards the veteran Church's Way and Nathan Parkman. I mean, those guys are lethal. They're experienced and they're not easy to go against.
And I'm sure everyone on the Chapman football team can agree with this. Churches has the best footwork, probably in the league. Maybe in the nation, and he's really shown it. Even last week with his one interception, the lone interception that the Panthers have had this season.
So the Panthers blitz. Erickson picks up on it, but the pass is incomplete. Intended for number 87, Taylor Coste.
And you can see Erickson is feeling the pressure, and the pressure is getting to him early. He's gonna have to fire out these early passes. He's putting on a line, especially in interior in the seam. Let's see if he can. Let's see how faced he'll be by this constant pressure from the Panthers, especially David Arus, inside linebacker.
So Erickson right now has 42 pass attempts, and that is exactly half of the record of 84. And he's brought down on a sack. Dylan Keefe bringing the pressure off the edge. And Cho's able to come up with that tackle.
It might be possible, don't you think? 84 passes, especially with them being down 2 touchdowns, maybe more after this drive. They're going to have to pass it. And if If he starts slinging it a lot, he might get close to his record.
I agree. I mean, the running game is not working for them. Under 40 yards total, and with a lot of game time left to play, and if they want to, have any chance of winning, they have to definitely air it out. And it definitely doesn't seem far-fetched for him to break that record here tonight, possibly.
Ooh, almost another block there by Jalen Durrell.
And a fair catch by White Harden. And the Panthers will take over at their own 15-yard line.
A lot of return duties for Harden today. He's done a fairly decent job of at least retaining possession of the ball, making some nice cuts along the way.
So let's see what personnel comes in for the Chapman Panthers. But in the meantime, the new Fair Pay to Play Act was passed in California, and that means that college athletes are going to get some profit.
So it was enacted by Senator Skinner, and it has had to go through a lot to get to where it's at this point. Right now, it's sitting at Governor Brown's desk, and if it gets approved by him, it'll go into enactment. But basically what that does is allow athletes to profit off the name, likeness, and image, such as getting sponsors, as you see Henshaw with
on a fumble, and it's recovered by the Pirates. And that is a huge momentum shift if they indeed deem it that way.
It was a good idea, good pass and catch to Henshaw, but a little too much there, and he lost the ball. But going back to what I was saying, it's been a big controversy lately, allowing student athletes to make money, and the NCAA is opposed to this right now. They have kind of alluded to the fact that California athletes would be not allowed to participate in championships in a lot of their sports. So we'll see how the NCAA responds and how Governor Brown will respond as well to this bill.
And just to clarify, that goes only for Division I athletes, not here at Chapman. As Corona picks up almost 10.
Tackled by number 35, Blake Simpson.
And here, Ackerson hands it off to Corona, and that's a gain of 0.
This is a big drive for both teams here. A one-touchdown game could mean a lot different than what it is right now, 2 touchdowns. Big third down here. Watch out to the top of your screen there on the numbers. Let's see if they attack that on a fade.
Looks like Chapman's going to bring the pressure. Erickson notices it, tosses it, and Coast State comes up with the catch and brings it into the 5-yard line. Good throw by Erickson on that play, able to stay in there and take a blow as he throws it.
And that was a great read because he saw Pat Calcagno. Although he played great coverage, it's just the concept of the defense playing that outside shade, allowing those inside routes to come through, and he read that and played that perfectly.
So you got one-on-one on the bottom of your screen. Let's see if Erickson chooses to go there. Oh, and the ball is tipped.
I say Erickson was lucky that it got tipped. That was completely covered by 3 defenders, and that probably was going to be an interception there.
Absolutely, and with that, Erickson's coming off the field. And let's see what they do here. That's number 13, backup quarterback Connor Johnson, the junior. Stepping in, and he's out alone with 5 wide or 4 wide, 1 tight end.
He might be a running quarterback. Let's see what happens here.
Well, he bobbles it, and he's swallowed up by the Chapman defense. He wasn't able to get nothing on that play. I think that snap surprised him. He was twiddling around with it, and now Sunshine goes off to the sideline.
I mean, that's what's going to happen when you put a new quarterback in right in the thick of the red zone, in the middle of a very important drive. Can't expect anything different.
I don't know the thinking behind that, but It didn't work out, and it brings him back. So now the Pirates are forced with the 3rd and about 12. And Erickson throws it in to the slot. That's Taylor Colstay, and he comes up with a touchdown. Pirates.
Great dime right there. That was great coverage as well, but he rifled that one in there, threw it right at the goal line on that inside breaking route, and was able to complete it. It's a crucial extra point here.
It is. As the Pirates score and bring it within 8, if they get this, they can make it a 1-touchdown game. Nearly blocked, but the kick is good. And the Panthers only lead by 7.
The score is now Chapman 27, Whitworth 20.
Let's take a look back at this touchdown pass. So you can see he rifled in there right before the pressure came in, and it looked like it was that outside shade coverage again by Calcagno. Nothing you can do there with a bigger body getting right in front of the ball, jumping up and catching it for, I believe, Erickson's 3rd touchdown pass of the game. And he's had not the best game, but he's maintained his composure through all the hits, through all the incompletions, and he's still put up 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, and yet has yet to throw an interception in his 45 attempts.
So now the Pirates are within reach of the Panthers. And as they set to kick this one off, they want to make sure to kick it deep and rely on their defense here to get a stop and possibly tie it up before this 3rd quarter winds up.
Another short kick.
Number 83 on the return, White Harden.
So White Harden on the return. Brings it out just past the 30.
Tackled by number 6.
See who's going to come in for quarterback here, whether it be Vettel or MacIntyre.
Well, last series was a little interesting as they started at the 1-yard line and Vettel was in for one play. Wasn't able even to get a play off because of the timeout, and Mac took him downfield and scored.
Looks like they're coming in the 2 tight end formation here. Expect a run from Reyes. Saw a couple of big runs from him earlier. See if he can duplicate that here.
So Corona and Shorts at the wide receivers. Ooh, that would have been a perfect one-on-one play.
Ball start, offense.
I think what they were going for there was that play action and they come back to Corona.
I was going to say the same thing.
18 to 15 comeback. We know that's a big play for Chapman.
I mean, Corona stands at 6'2" against a 5'7" DB, number 39, Bryce Holmbeck. But they noticed that, so they switch it up a little bit. And Chapman's, let's see what they do here. Vettel in the gun, hands it off to Reyes.
And you can hear it, the Whitworth sideline, the Whitworth crowd. Although it might be small, you can hear them louder than the Panther crowd right now.
Yeah, definitely. And as a player, you know that, the ambiance from your fan base is definitely a factor late in the game.
And especially these guys have came all the way from Spokane, and a lot of these parents, a lot of these fans, they've made the trip along with them.
So we got Dylan Keefe hyping up the home crowd here. A 2nd and long for the Panthers. Vettel in the gun. High snap. Has time, throws it over the middle of the field. And the ball is caught.
Wow.
James Kistner over the defender.
What a bold throw. What a bold throw. Vettel trusted his tight end Kistner there. He didn't really have many receptions last year or the year before, and it looks like he's really stepped up his receiving game this year. And he made right that interception that happened last time.
A bold throw indeed, but that's who Reed Vettel is. He's a bold man. Hands it off to Reyes. Reyes dance and
That was a nice
almost breaks
cut.
the tackle.
But Reed Vettel he's definitely not new to pressure. This guy is a state champion. St. Francis and Mountain View. He played on a great team with that, which featured a lot of Division I players, including Cyrus Habibi-Likia, who plays at Oregon now. He played alongside his teammates, some of his teammates, Ryan Moles and Patrick Calcagno. And this kind of atmosphere is definitely not new to him, as well as Marcos Reyes, running back.
Yeah, this kid's a real deal. Had looks from Division I schools, but decided to come here, and he's tearing it up as a sophomore. And the pass is complete. Spencer Corona.
It's like his first catch of the game tonight.
And they're going to mark it for a first down, Panthers.
What a great response by this Chapman offense to the adversity they were facing deep in their own territory. Chapman crowd all fired up now.
So still in the gun, hands it off to the right. And Reyes, nowhere. So with two rushing plays going for minimal yards and 2 passing plays going for a lot, do you think that Casey Shine might throw in a play action there and maybe catch the defense off guard?
I do think that's a great possibility. I do think they have to keep the defense honest with this rushing game, although it might not be gaining as many yards as they want it to. It's going to be vital for them to open up into the play action later on.
All right, an offense cheer coming here from the home crowd as Vito hands it off to Mendoza. Mendoza has a lane. If he can get that block, Mendoza will score into the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers, as they go up 33-20 with a chance to make it a 14-point game, and he's pumped.
And that was all the offensive line right there. Getting to the second level, that was a perfect play design, perfect execution. And Tanner Mendoza coming in his first play of the drive. See him getting picked up there. That's a big touchdown for him.
The sophomore running back, a little disappointed in the way he played the first week out in Oregon, but here today, he scores and he's pumped.
14-point lead, and what an answer by the Panthers. Look at this touchdown again. Tanner Mendoza, patient, waiting for his blocks to come in, and then just explodes. You see a nice block out here by Caleb Henshaw, giving enough room for Mendoza to get to the outside and finish in the end zone. I believe that is his first of the season as well.
Yeah, that kid works hard. I've seen him work out, and I've seen him, off the field, and he's dedicated to his craft. So it's good to see him get in that end zone early in the season. So with just over a minute to play left in here in the third quarter, Chapman goes up 14 at a score of 34-20. And even though Whitworth scored a touchdown before they did, they're back to where they started at the start of this second half, and they got to work a little harder again.
And now it's Erickson's time to respond. Vettel did it himself. Let's see how Erickson can do it. Nearing 300 yards passing. See if he can add to his total here on this drive.
So Tapia, a short kick. Might have looked like it was on purpose.
Yeah, the last few kicks have been very short from both sides. I think they're trying to avoid the returners, knowing that they are very potent threats, and they have the ability to really return to the house, which could offer a lot of momentum to either side.
Yeah, both squads seem to be doing that, avoiding the returners that pose a threat. So here, let's see what Erickson can do. Chapman brings the blitz. Erickson has the wide receiver, and let's see, no flag on the play. Might have got away with that one.
And as you can see at the bottom of the screen, Osoda, who appeared to be playing man in that coverage, played that bail technique, baiting Erickson to throw that fade. Let's see if he does that, and if he does, he's facing the quarterback. He'll be in good position for the interception this time.
Erickson out and spread. Finds Taylor Coste out in the middle, and he's able to fight his way to midfield.
That's been their bread and butter. Those inside breaking short routes up the middle, those slot type slants. That's what they've been that's what they had to rely to a lot.
And Taylor Colstad is leading the team in receptions. Although on that catch, Erickson dumps it off to McGill, the tight end, for another first down.
And a lot of physicality there by the receiver. Osada was in great position. He was actually on top of the coverage, but again, the smaller body, he just got boxed out there and wasn't able to convert on the play.
So Chapman Panthers call a timeout after 2 long first downs from the Pirates.
Smart call by Coach Owens. The defense definitely needs a rest, especially with this extremely up-tempo no-huddle offense.
So as the Panthers get hydrated, courtesy of Powerade, we'll take a look at both teams. And there's a coach that you recognize that you spent a lot of time with, your time playing here at Chapman.
Yeah,
Talk a little bit about him.
Yeah, so Coach Harrison, he is now actually the linebackers coach, but back when, my 3 years that I played, he was the defensive back coach, and he's just so knowledgeable about the game. He uses statistics, he uses everything, all the leading technology to know kind of what to do in today's game. And his biggest thing is technique, and as a DB, as I talked, it's so hard. You got to put yourself in the right position every single time to even give yourself a chance. And he taught us that amazingly.
Awesome. It seems to be paying off here today for his linebackers and his defensive squad. Erickson, another screen. They go back to it. Let's see if Corona can get a block. And he gets one to bring it inside the 10-yard line and out of bounds, which will stop the clock. So this Pirate offense is determined to score before the third quarter winds down.
See what they do here, if they try to get another play off or if they're going to let the clock run out.
So first and goal is set up after that throw. I guess he didn't go out of bounds and the clock's winding down.
He might just try to get the team off sides here.
And they get it off. They dump it out. Oh, and he had him wide open, but he just overthrew it. He knows he had him. But with that winds down the third quarter.
Into the third quarter.
And that start of the fourth, and with that, we'll be back as we go to break.
Quarter is Chapman 34, Whitworth 20.
All right, at the start of the fourth quarter here, the Pirates switch sides. Second and goal. Erickson back there alone. 5 wide out. Quick snap. Incomplete.
Great defense by Osada there. Erickson did have that quick outbreaking route open there. Could have gone to that for the touchdown there.
So here, the Chapman crowd getting loud. Chapman defense.
This is 2 down. This is 4 down territory though for Erickson, so they don't need to get all the way to the end zone here.
So you got trips on the near side, and like you mentioned, Keith's out there covering the slot. And the pass is incomplete, intended over the middle for number 23, Andrew Meredith.
Calcaño saw that the whole way. Even though he was playing outside, he broke in immediately when he saw the cut. Almost had the pick there.
He almost came up with it, and that would have been huge.
4th down. It looks like they're bringing the field goal unit in. I don't know about this call. What do you think?
So with 4th down, they're playing it safe, but down 14, fourth quarter left. I don't know. If I was a Pirate, I'd be trying to protect my nationally ranked, score, and I would be going for it. I mean, you rely on your defense.
So maybe watch for the fake here.
And the kick is good. So that puts the Pirates to 23 on the scoreboard. And now they're only down 11.
Still a two possession game though. So they're gonna need a lot of help.
So still a 2-possession game, but unless they can get a stop, it's gonna play into the next series between the Chapman Panthers and the Pirates.
So you can see Leif Eriksson's stats through 3 quarters, 25 for 50. 50 pass attempts, man. 310 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like we said, 84 passing attempts is the record. He's 34 away. It's possible.
So as the Pirates get ready to kick it off here yet again, they're going to have to rely on their defense to get them a couple stops. As you mentioned, it is still a 2-possession ball game, but a lot of time left. A lot of time left.
A lot of time. This time they choose to kick it deep.
They kick it to Isaiah Woods. That's a dangerous man back there and a flag, so this will be coming back.
I don't know about that call. I think they're going to call that on Ragas. It looked like a clean hit there, don't you think?
So Raga certainly thinks so, as he's still talking to the ref about it, but let's hear for the call.
That looked to me, it was right on the shoulder pads. Perfectly legal to me.
Illegal block in the back, number 14 of the return team. Half the distance from the goal. First down.
So it's not on Ragas. It's
So that brings it back a little bit after that penalty. And the Panthers decide to rest Vettel and put MacIntyre out in the field for this drive.
And last time they were this deep in their own territory, it didn't fare well. It didn't fare too well for the Panthers.
So MacIntyre hands it off for a gain of 0.
Number 28, Taylor Mendoza on the carry.
So with that, the Panthers will be faced with the challenge here, trying to get it out of their own 10-yard line.
Second down, the home 7.
And with Casey Shine out as the offensive coordinator, you would assume he has something up his sleeve to get this team going again.
They got to run this quick.
Yeah, the play clock's running down.
Just got a blitz coming. They
They
back
decide
off.
not to send him. And Jonston almost loses his ground, but of course he takes it, tucks it, and runs, and picks up the first down. Unless
Jonston MacIntyre
they
on
mark
the
him
carry.
right before as he stepped out, but
Tackled by number 19, Ian Black.
so they are, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 2.
Third down at the home 15.
This is a big play here for the Panthers. If the Pirates can find a way to stop them, they'll be forced to punt, and that'll be a huge momentum shift here in this game. They bring the blitz. They decide to hand it off. A big dog pile, and that is not going to pick up a first as the Pirates stop them, and it brings up a 4th down.
It's a huge stop for the Pirates there, but that's one thing they've been able to do well on the defensive end is stuff that interior run. Although we saw a few big plays, for the most part, they've been able to lock it up.
So with that, Panthers are going to punt it away. Backed up in their own 20. So unless this guy boots it, the Pirates are going to have great field position. A high kick.
Honestly,
Oh my, what a punt. So that was a great punt, exactly what the Panthers wanted. That was a freshman with the boom, and that brings it inside the Pirates' own 20.
reminiscent of Eli Deeb. I think that was close to the Chapman record. Eli Deeb, I think his freshman year back in 2016 had a 74-yard punt. I'd say that might have beat it right there.
Dang. And a freshman doing that. That's crazy. Erickson back on the field. Let's see if they can come up with some points this drive. A quick throw. The pass is tipped in the area of no one. fortunately for the Pirates.
Again, they're looking for that super fast one-step drop back type pass up the middle. It's been working out well for them, but as we saw in that last drive, Calcania, the safeties are starting to understand what Erickson's trying to do here. Let's see if they catch on.
Let's see if the offensive line can also help him out and give him some protection. He hasn't had much this game. And here Erickson throws it. And McGill created separation, but wasn't able to come up with that one as the ball was thrown out of his reach.
And I don't know if you can see that on your screen, but that's a hard pass to make. That's from one hash to the opposite sideline. First of all, that's over 20 yards downfield and over 30 yards to the sideline.
Yeah, as a quarterback, in my opinion, or from the quarterback, in my opinion, I think that's one of the toughest throws to make is that out and that comeback on the far side. All right, so a crucial 3rd and 10 here for the Pirates. Backed up inside their own 20.
Watch the slot on your top of the screen.
McGill. And so that's only picking up about 2. Erickson just decided to play it safe and dump it across the middle. And they're going to punt.
Whitworth is playing pretty conservatively here. We saw with that field goal on 4th down over there, and now with throwing it short on 3rd down when they did have some deep routes they could have thrown it to there.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I guess Erickson's just not seeing the field, and you know he's talking to his offensive coordinator right now, trying to see what went wrong and come up with the game plan to score and make it better next drive. But here they're going to have to settle for a punt. And Harden decides to fair catch it, and that'll bring out the Chapman offense. Let's see if they can capitalize here.
And again, that's great field position there. It looks like right at the 50.
So MacIntyre's going to go back out in the field for another drive.
Now the Panthers are put in an interesting position. It's whether or not they should try to be conservative, try to run some time off here, or actually try to put some points on the board and seal out this game when they can.
Nicaragua is on the jet sweep, loses his towel, and brings it up for a gain of about 3.
As we saw there, Ragas didn't really see anything going to the outside. He did what he could with the little that he had and just cut that upfield, dove. Got a few 3 yards there.
2nd down, Division 47.
So this offense playing well all game, minus a few mistakes. They're coming out here ready to score and be a threat here in this 4th quarter, trying to put this game away. Under center, man in motion. Play action, hits as he thrown, but catches it, and Ragas is using his speed. He's got a block. He's got a block. He's going to go all the way, but he's complaining about the flag as he's running. And you know that one's coming back if he's doing that.
Again, Nate, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I didn't see it there. It looks like they were calling on one of the lead blockers close to the 20-yard line, but it looked clean to me. Another one going against the Panthers.
Illegal block in the back, 62 offense.
Panthers are definitely not happy about that, and you can see that voice by the home crowd.
So that takes away a huge touchdown.
And as we can see here, let's see if we can see the penalty. You can see, look at him just bolt up, first of all. Blaze past the Whitworth defense. You can't see on the screen where the illegal block was, but Ragas clearly disappointed about it, even before he scored that touchdown.
So they called it on number 62, Will Banks. And that brings it back to just past midfield. As they wait for the play to come in, the Panthers want to duplicate what they just did with no flags. Jonston rolls out to his right, has a man, and just out of reach of Nico Ragas, and he's hit as he's thrown.
Looks like it might be his ankle, possibly a cramp of some sort, but looks like they were trying to go right back to Ragas. Maybe a little bit of revenge for him.
Third down, Panther 41.
This brings up a big 3rd and short.
What do you think they do here? You running it or you passing it?
I'm saying you run it, but this interior run game with the tailbacks is not working out the best. I'd say either go with the speed option here or go with the read option. Keep with MacIntyre.
They're going to have to get rid of it soon. Oh. And they'd rather play it safe and use a timeout.
Their second of the half.
This could be a good time to use one of the trick plays. I know they got a few in there. As you talked about, Casey Shine, the dice roller out here. This could be the play of the game. Touchdown here could really do it.
All right, as the Chapman Panthers take a timeout, we will as well. We'll be right back. All right, after the timeout here, a crucial 3rd and 1 for the Panthers. And you called it, Pranav.
I did.
Speed
And
option.
I think that is enough.
And that'll be enough for a Chapman Panther first down.
And the Pirates did read that pretty well. They swallowed up the running back there, but MacIntyre was able to just duck inside, get the yardage he needed. And that's play of a coach's son right there.
Now you feel a little good about yourself after calling that one.
Hey, call me Tony Romo.
I was just about to say, call you Tony Romo. I wouldn't call myself Jim Nance. So. MacIntyre drops back, has room, rolls out, gonna use his speed, stays on his feet. Ooh, and a big hit.
No.
And they're gonna throw a flag as all of them come in. As the late hit is thrown, Jonston MacIntyre comes up.
What a warrior.
Such a beast.
You saw him falling down there, and he got absolutely bolted. I understand the defensive side here. He was falling down, but still, nonetheless, you're going to fall
Personal
down.
foul, unnecessary roughness with targeting. Number 95 on the defense. 15-yard penalty. Number 95 is disqualified from the game.
Nice. So disqualified number 95 after that hit. That's Mason Mitch.
We can see the replay here. MacIntyre doing what he's doing all game, just making the most out of nothing. And you can see him going down here, an extremely hard hit. The defender obviously wasn't ill-intentioned there, but the rules are the rules nowadays. Makes it so much harder for defenders, especially DBs, to make tackles.
Certainly, it's certainly a great area. You know, you see like people like Jamal Adams, you know, display his emotion on that topic, you know, just last week. And so, I mean, it's tough. I mean, your momentum's coming down, so are they, and you kind of have to avoid them, you know. Definitely not ill-intentioned, but it's just unfortunate. But, I mean, good call nonetheless. You want to protect the players, and that's the number one important thing. So with that, they're going to bring in Vettel after that hard hit, and he just hands it off to Marcos Reyes and picks up about one.
A touchdown here would essentially seal the game for the Panthers. Let's see if they can finish off the drive here. Looks like they're in the red zone now.
So Jonston, 3 for 11, 50 yards, not much there, but he's rushing it, or he's killing it on the rushing game tonight, as he has 13 rushes for 77 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Not really the stats you're looking for like as a quarterback, but without a doubt, he is the offensive MVP tonight.
So on the near side, you have Zach Shorts and Caleb Henshaw. And they're going to have to burn their last time out. So if the Pirates can come out with the stop here, that's going to be huge late down the game.
And they're right on the outside edge of field goal range here. Although a field goal would still keep it a 2-possession game, we'll see what they decide to do if it comes to that decision.
So if the Pirates can come up with a stop, they are in field goal range, as Pranav said. but they attempted one earlier in the game, and unfortunately they missed it. And they're 0 for 1 tonight, but only 1 in the last 2 years made, and that's a lot of pressure for a freshman.
Hey, but when we're talking about history, 1 in 2 years made, we're talking about 19 years of history right here. If they're going to break that tonight, I'm sure a lot of other stuff is going to be broken.
Yeah, I mean, history records are meant to be broken, right? I mean, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, the Panthers can come up with something, but if not, the Pirates' defense has been playing pretty decent all game, so I wouldn't be surprised if they can come up and stop.
Watch for the pass here.
So Vettel with time drops back, finds his receiver, and they're going to mark him down right where he catches it as he had a knee on the ground. So Zach Shorts comes up with the ball.
Going to bring up a very close 3rd and short, less than 1 yard.
So you can imagine this is a huge part of the game right here. I mean, if you get a first, you know, you'd imagine you're shaving off at least 2 minutes off the clock unless they score right away.
But it looks like they're going to go 5 wide. They're going to pass the ball here. And we know Vettel's not a runner, so we'll see what they do.
He has room with Ragas as the safeties over him. So maybe you run a pick play? I don't know. We'll see.
It looks man coverage across.
So man coverage, as you called it.
PI.
And they don't call it. So the Pirates get away with the potential pass interference call on that one. And that's going to bring up a 4th and short.
If that ball was going to number 6, Joe Muty, or Will Muty, that would have definitely been a PI, but it seemed to be going to the other receiver. So the Pirates get away with one there, but that brings up a 4th down. Interesting situation. We'll see what they do here.
So they're going to decide to go for it.
And this is what they got to do when they're playing against the number 10 team in the country. You got to take risks.
So, I mean, you can put it any way you want it, but they trust their offense more than their field goal unit. And let's see what they come up with here.
I think he got it. I think he got it.
And that's going to bring up a 1st down and goal for the Chapman Panthers. And that is huge.
And it is. And that was great defense by the Pirates. We saw a swarm. But Reyes was able to see the slightest of holes on the cutback and just go straight upfield for the minimal 1.5 yard gain. But that's all he needed for the 1st down.
So two backs alongside Vettel in the backfield. And a broken up play right there, but Vettel, he can use his legs.
Look at him hold that ball.
He didn't know what to do. Played it safe and ran out of bounds. Smart play by Reed Vettel right there. And as he's telling him, he's doing his signals, telling his running back what the play was. That was Jacob Rockus on the mess up. Or Rocha, excuse me.
Going heavy here, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs. That creates these one-on-one opportunities, especially at the top of the screen here.
One-on-one ball, you called it, and Henshaw drops it.
Wow.
As he's coming down.
That was a great play all around. Great pass, great attempt at the catch by Henshaw, but that was amassed by the great defense up top by the cornerback. And I remind you again that number 39, he's 5'7", and he's playing like a warrior tonight.
Yeah, great play by him on that play as he was able to break it up and prevent a touchdown for the Panthers.
3rd down again here. See the receivers switching sides. Definitely a passing situation as they bring Ragas in. Looks like he's back from his injury.
So Ragas substitutes in for a tight end. And they have 3 men wide out. And Reed dumps it off to the running back, and Tanner swallowed up just before the end zone.
It was a great hustle play by that linebacker. Tanner Mendoza thought he had the end zone there, but a great end zone saving tackle.
So this again is another big, crucial play because, as it looks, the Chapman offense is going to step off the field, and they're going to put their field goal unit on. And he's 0 for 1 tonight, but let's see if he can get it. If he gets it, it's huge.
And
Because that puts them up 14. But if not, then
you got to watch out here for the fake, though. Pat did it once last game. This is a perfect opportunity to do it here, but it looks like they just kick it through.
they kick it through, and the kick is good, and that puts them up 14.
So they go field goal for field goal there, and back to a two-possession, 14-point game.
So that's a huge play for that freshman. You know he's stoked. And now we're back where we started to kick off this half. So with the 14-point game left and just over 6 minutes left to play, what do you think we should expect from this Pirate offense? Because they got to get going. We know they can run a no-huddle and get going quick, but they got to execute.
I mean, we know we're going to see a ton of passes. What has been working for the Pirates is this inside slot. The slot's running very short routes, especially with Erickson getting berated in the pocket, not having much time to pass. I think they're going to have to switch it up here because the Chapman secondary is catching on to it and it has been working the past drive or two. Let's see what they come up with. And I think it's also been a while since we've seen a deep pass thrown by Erickson. It worked well throughout the game, especially with number 6 on Hunter Osoda. See if they go back to it.
So not the best of kicks right there for the freshman, but they were able to stop it just after the 30-yard line.
Number 15 on the return. Brayden Ayala.
And this is where legends are made. Down 14, 6 minutes left.
Isaac Edwards.
If Erickson really is an elite quarterback, he's gonna make the most out of his opportunity here.
So the Whitworth offense, not too much going from them on the ground game. As you see, 17 rushes and 26 yards total with the 3 backs that they've integrated into this game. And 55-yard passing attempts is a lot for one quarterback.
Watch the bottom of your screen here.
So wide open, number 34 for the Pirates.
Number 34, Anthony Ruiz.
That's Anthony Ruiz, left wide open.
Smart play call there. Running the slant with a wide receiver, getting Osoda out of the picture and throwing it to the tight end there.
First down, District 43.
So this Pirate offense is looking to spread 5 wide out wide and move quick as Erickson dumps it off to number 23, Andrew Meredith.
I think it's a good chance. This is a good opportunity to take a shot deep. Panthers are on their heels here. They're definitely tired after these few plays. See what they do here.
So still 5 men out wide. Erickson lonely back there as he drops back. He unloads. He has a man. And guess who was there again? Dylan Keefe.
I'm sure the audience knows by now. He's a household name around Orange, I see. He went to Alameda High School in Orange and now doing it big at Chapman.
All right, so a big 3rd down here for the Pirates.
I'd say look for them to attack the short side, the top of your screen.
3rd and 5, Erickson throws and finds a receiver with the 1st down, makes a move, and he's trying to break loose. That is number 3, Isaiah Cole, with a
nice
big
move.
run.
He absolutely put on the brakes there, going full speed. And after that catch, he just stopped and turned and made a cut and picked up a great 1st down.
All right, so we're going to throw it down to Aaron for an update on MacIntyre's injury.
Just a few plays ago, we saw quarterback Jonston MacIntyre take a pretty hard hit and go down. After needing some assistance getting back up, the athletic trainers wanted to take him aside and do a quick concussion evaluation. They gave him a clean bill of health, and he should be back on the field in the next few plays.
All right, thank you, Aaron, for that update. And as you missed, Jalen Durrell came up with the sack and nearly almost sacked again. Oh, will they call it? And no pass interference. Clean.
I think that's a good no call there. Looks like the feet of the two just got tangled up. Great coverage by Osoda, going stride for stride with the bigger receiver there.
So Erickson taking 2 blows back to back. Stays in the game, and this is a 3rd and long.
But again, we're in 4 down territory here. They don't need to make all of it up right here. But I wouldn't be surprised for them just attack that short side once again.
So Erickson rolls out to his right. Madero's there, and Erickson tries to stay on his feet, but he's swallowed up. Brings it back to the line of scrimmage, but that'll bring up a 4th and long. And you would assume that they go for it with under 5 minutes left to play. They have no choice.
Definitely, definitely. But Erickson had to be more aware there. He knew he was going down soon. He should have just at least gotten rid of that. I think this is just a situation of throw the ball up. Back in the days, like 3 flags up. Just see if your receiver can make the play.
So let's see if they can put some trust in his offense. Receivers right here. Erickson with time, unloads, one-on-one against the number 1 corner for the Chapman Panthers. Comes up with the interception, Chris Churches, and that pretty much seals this ball game.
And that's his 2nd straight game with the pick there. But I don't know, Nate, if you saw the short side, that receiver was wide open, number 84 on the short side. I know Erickson wasn't looking there, but that might have done it for the game. 3:53 left here. Only 2 timeouts left.
So Leif Eckerson, not Leif Eckerson, came up short on that drive and ends his night with an interception.
You see the replay right here, just throwing it up for grabs. It's what he has to do at this point, but the veteran Churches high pointing that, getting in front of his receiver, coming with that down cleanly. And we see MacIntyre's back in the game, the warrior.
So the offensive line trying to push ahead on that. We're gaining about 3. And that was Tanner Mendoza.
Timeout. Whitworth.
So Whitworth uses the first timeout of the half.
Correction. 2nd of the half.
Excuse me, 2nd of the half. So a good ball game here. I mean, the number ranked 10 team in the nation comes in all the way from Spokane, Washington. And like I said earlier, they probably had the mindset of they were going to win. And, I've been a part of teams where, we've had the upper hand and we roll into a ball game and, think we can just, go in there and it could be a cakewalk. But, and then we usually get our butts kicked. So, I mean, Chapman wanted it more. They played consistent and they just played harder.
And don't be surprised when you see the rankings come out tomorrow. If Chapman breaks the top 25, with the win here, they'll be 2-0 heading into league play. And it seems that Whitworth, being number 10 in the country, would be their most formidable opponent of the season. So maybe on pace for an undefeated regular season.
Maybe. Jonston on the carry here, and a flag is thrown late behind the play. But yeah, I mean, you're right. It certainly would be a huge win for the Panthers here, and they can possibly break that top 25 after, beating a top 10 team.
Looks like the
Holding. Offense, number 88. 10 yards from the previous spot. First down.
giving the Pirates some life here.
Half the distance to go. 2nd down.
A stop here and they would get the ball back with a decent amount of time remaining. A quick touchdown, an onside kick, and another touchdown would possibly send this to overtime.
Didn't know we were living in a utopian world.
I mean, we've seen crazier things.
I guess you're right. I mean, just like that Houston and Tulane game over the weekend, or this past week.
Don't expect anything else other than a run up the middle here for the Panthers. Especially with Jonston just coming off a big hit. Don't want to rough him up too much.
You know, when the headphones come off of your head coach, he thinks he has it in the bag. Just a subtle flex. So the clock's winding down. They're going to drink up as much as they can. And Pirates bring the blitz, and they almost stop it in the backfield, but Mendoza tries to spin out of it and gets nowhere.
Their final timeout. Pirates just took it.
Number 20 on the carry, Tanner Mendoza.
Timeout Whitworth. Their third of the half.
Number 24.
So their third and final timeout. Whitworth is taking it, huddling up, trying to come up with a stop, hoping they can. And if they do, they got to score quickly.
So it looks like the Pirates are set to get the ball back with about 2:20 left. And looks like they'll probably be in good field position too, given the fact that the Panthers are at the 11-yard line. Let's see if they can make the most out of it, get a quick score, and see if some magic can happen from there.
So a quick timeout here for the Whitworth Pirates.
See the headset back on for Coach O?
Yeah, it's getting serious now. See? Just one play can change that. Gotta love him. How many scoops do you think he's having if they win?
I'm thinking at least 4. Looks like their players were not set.
Offense. Number
Interesting
14,
situation there.
5-yard penalty.
The Panthers were coming out of a timeout, but they didn't realize the play clock was about to run out. And they had to hurry up on the field, weren't able to get the play off on time.
So unfortunate circumstances for the Panthers on that penalty, as that brings them back to the 6-yard line. And Jonston tries the double fake and keeps it again, but loses about a yard.
And an important thing to note here, the Panthers are at the 4-yard line. This is going to cause the punter to have to scoot up a little bit, opening the opportunity for a block kick.
And you're absolutely right, and that would be insane to witness here if they could come up with a block
And
right here. But I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible.
We've already seen a block kick today.
We certainly have. And remember, that's a freshman back there, so this is nerve-wracking for him. And he gets it off.
Decent kick. Getting it past the 50, but see what they can do on the return here.
So long as Anita swallowed up, going nowhere. And with just over 2 minutes to play, the Chapman defense needs to come up big if they want to secure this W. They get a stop at any point here, you can pretty much write it off as a win.
And for those who are new to the rules of college football, you got to remember that every first down the clock stops, so the Pirates would need to take advantage of that, get on the ball quickly. Let's see how fast they can get things done here.
So Erickson in the gun with time, has a receiver, and Keith jumped high for that one, almost came up with the interception. That was intended for number 23, Andrew Meredith.
He almost had one in the first half too. Another one dropped right there. But nonetheless, great defense.
Second down, number 48.
So you got trips on the far side. Looks like Chapman's not going to bring any pressure. A 3-man rush. And they still almost come up with a sack across the middle. Erickson dumps it off to his receiver, and he's able to pick up the first down and more.
And that's
number
huge.
84, Alan Balu.
Clock will stop momentarily as the refs reset the ball. See how fast the Pirates can snap it here.
So now we are officially under 2 minutes, and the Pirates picking up a first down. Erickson dropped back. Again, tries to challenge Keith. Intended for Andrew Meredith once again, but incomplete.
Keith might be the best defensive back the Panthers have had tonight.
And he's listed as a linebacker too.
And we've seen so many tackles for losses. We've seen a couple of sacks, I think, too, by him. He's been all over the field.
So they decided to show blitz. Let's see if they follow through with it. And they show and they bring 5 out of reach for, again, Meredith. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 10.
We saw Calcano high-fiving Coach Owens there right after that incompletion. Seems like confidence is running high for the secondary. See if they can finish it off here.
So the play clock will stop. 5 out wide. Erickson with pressure dumps it off. And that's number 3.
And he's short, so the
short
clock
of the
will still
first
run.
down, so the clock will still run. Isaiah Cole wasn't aware.
And this is the game right here.
This is the game. And Erickson takes it himself up the gut for a big chunk of yards, but still the clock is winding down and they got to hurry up.
You can't forget, Erickson is a capable runner. He is a big body, 6'4", 225, Ben Roethlisberger type body.
So 5 out wide yet again. Has an open receiver and it's caught for the touchdown. Pirates. That is number 23, Meredith, who he was trying to connect with 3 times and couldn't, but did when it counts the most.
Not the best looking passes, kind of wobbly, a little bit behind. The receiver had to stop right at the end zone, but it worked out for them.
So the Pirates score with just over a minute left to play in this game. And they're going to have to go for the onside with no timeouts left on defense. So Erickson with a total of 67 total of pass attempts this game. Not quite 84, but still a lot nonetheless. As the Pirates tack on an extra point to bring it in within 7.
But despite, obviously, let's look at the replay here first. Erickson eyeing his receiver down, throwing it over the linebacker, and we see the catch there for the touchdown. Interesting, funky kind of play there. But Panthers, despite allowing 383 passing yards, have been playing well in the secondary. Only 32 out of 67 completions, so that is under 50%. And despite the 4 touchdowns, they have had a crucial interception. But regardless of all that, it's going to come down to this final onside kick.
So let's see if they can come up here. So after Meredith having a breakout game the first week against Laverne, he comes out here and scores a clutch touchdown for the Pirates. But this is what matters the most. Right here, right now. An onside kick.
Looks like they're attacking the left side. Chapman got their hands team on deck.
So a good kick, but right into the hands of a Chapman Panther. And they'll take over with a minute and 9 seconds left remaining. That is Ricky Maderos.
And now it's just a formality. Couple of knees here. And the Panthers will walk away with their first victory against a top 25 opponent. 0-19, now it's 1-19.
So Isaiah Woods, very fervent coming into this game or before this game, predicting this win and stopping the streak as they beat a top-ranked team for the first time since 1994. A huge game by this Chapman offense. MacIntyre getting it done on the ground. Vettel coming in, stepping up huge, throwing a touchdown. But this defense came up and made stops when they needed to the most.
This defense is for real, especially that the front 7 played amazing tonight.
Such a huge win, such a huge game for this team. And, you know, first home game back for Hunter Spriggs, as we talked about. I'm sure it's emotional for him and his squad. But this is how you want to start off the season. 2 wins, you know, a win away and a win home. And obviously you couldn't ask for anything better, beating a top 10 team. It's awesome.
And especially heading into league play, There's no better feeling than being 2-0.
No better feeling.
And though it might not show on the stat sheet, it's clear the player of the game tonight, number 44, Dylan Keefe. He was a havoc on the defensive end, whether it be on the line as a defensive back in so many facilities. As we can see here, the Panthers celebrating the victory.
So with that, the Panthers will officially get a win here at home to start off their new season. A huge, huge win for this Chapman squad. And it's the first CSBN broadcast of the new year and a perfect way to start it off.
No better way than we saw a high-scoring affair, lots of passing from Whitworth, a lot of efficient running by the Panthers, great offensive and defensive showing from both teams.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you back for homecoming on October 5th.
So the Panthers come up with the 7-point win against the Pirates. A total of 442 yards, passing yards 210, rushing yards. They killed it, 232 compared to a 31 total yards. You know the running back coach for the Pirates will be in his backfield this week and trying to create something, different than this narrative here tonight. But first down, 21-25, and 2 turnovers. Regardless, they still came up with the win. But the time of possession, 35 minutes and 18 seconds compared to the 24 minutes and 42 seconds is huge. And essentially, with one touchdown game, that kind of boils it down.
And it wasn't pretty for the Panthers on offense. They had to do it dirty. It was a ground and pound running game, and that's what got them through. As we can see here, the Panthers celebrating with their band as they do after every win. What a great tradition for the Panthers. See the game highlights here. First, we're starting off inside with Marcos Reyes on his great run, breaking 3 tackles and bursting into the open field. Running out of energy there, but I think they've scored later on in the drive. Then we see Vettel here, efficient passing tonight. Throwing to Caleb, but he lost the ball on this play, giving the ball to the Pirates in Panther territory. Later on in the drive, it was Erickson with the rifle inside for the touchdown. We saw Mendoza with the burst. This one on a great cut, great block by Henshaw for the touchdown. A lot of momentum on this play for the Panthers. Erickson, as he did all night, slung it, whether it was open, whether it was not. And in this situation, this is one of the crucial plays of the game, an interception on 4th and long by Chris Churches, his second of the season in just 2 games.
Here we'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Panthers as they secured 2 wins in the first 2 games of the season in Oregon at Pacific and now Whitworth at home. And next week they'll be home for Whittier and the following week for Redlands. Those are 2 big games as their conference games. And after that, they're away at Occidental, home against Cal Lutheran, Pomona Pitzer, and Claremont and Laverne. So we'll go home, home, away, home, away, home, away. So, this is your 2 huge win. All home games will be recorded live here on CSBN. And with that, we want to say follow our social media at C_S_B_N_. A lot of underscores, but here tonight the Panthers up the score. So here we see Coach O talking to the team. A fought hard win, and you already know he's going to be having his scoops of ice cream for his root beer floats.
His root beer float, his nightly tradition. He even says sometimes when he has too much, it makes him stay up till 3 a.m. at the night.
Such a good win. You see all smiles across the board. What do you think stands out most about this team this year, Pranav?
I think this season is about the grit. Offensively, they are without some of their key weapons. Some that was lost in graduation, some that they lost through injury. But looks like, as we saw right there, Coach Owens, 4 scoops?
4 scoops, you called it. That's huge.
But a great win nonetheless by Chapman over number 10 Whitworth. And up next for them, it's homecoming.
It's homecoming, and it's going to be huge. It's conference play. I mean, you want to get 2 non-conference wins. I know they technically don't mean much, but when you beat a top 10 team, it means the world. So now you put a little a fear in this SCIAC division, and they're going to be, forced to be out there and scout an extra, a little extra, because this Chapman squad, is a force to be reckoned with, and they're not messing around this year.
And if they go 3-0 after the Whittier game, they're heading into their yearly rivalry against Redlands, who's usually one of the top runners for the SCIAC. That would be possibly the conference championship game early on in the season for them.
So, they're going to celebrate this win. A fought hard win tonight. There ain't no party like a Panther party, so
as Coach O says, and that's going to be happening right now in the locker room. But on the other side, we see the Whitworth side kind of disappointed, but we'll see what's happening next.
Okay, so now we're going to take it down to Aaron for a sideline interview with the star quarterback, Jonston MacIntyre.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with quarterback Jonston MacIntyre. Jonston, first of all, congratulations on the 2 touchdowns.
Thank you, Aaron.
You've taken your time on the bench, but now you came out this season and you totally owned it. You're a total stud. What prepared you to take this leadership role this year?
I appreciate that. The guys that came before me, the quarterbacks, Ricky and Ian, and then the guys in there now, Reed, we're all good friends, and they helped me out. I learned from them. They learned from me. And then, of course, the coaches, Coach 2.0, our quarterback coach. Shout out to him.
And then how do you plan to maintain this level of success for your team?
We just plan to keep doing what we're doing today and the week before. We're grinding out on the ground. Our defense is playing great, so got to give a hat off to them for sure.
Thank you so much, Jonston. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Go celebrate with your team. Thanks, guys, and back to you.
Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in to CSBN. With that, we want to say have a good night and be safe. Thank you.